Let's hope there are plenty of goals at the National Stadium this evening. It's time now to sit back and enjoy the action. It's the first of the League Cup semi-finals. Hibs against Aberdeen, live from the National Stadium with John Collins, Willie Miller and Liam McLeod.
Good evening. The first League Cup meeting at the National Stadium for Hibs and Aberdeen since the final in 1985, which the Dons won 3-0 thanks to 2 goals from Eric Black and 1 from Billy Stark. It's the only time they've met in the final of this tournament, and just the second overall after Aberdeen's first ever Scottish Cup victory in 1947 when they beat Hibs 2-1 under Davy Halliday. Just the second time they've met in the semis of the League Cup. Stuart Kennedy was the match winner for the Dons in the only other League Cup semi-final meeting between the two in December 1978. Well, it's far from a full house inside Hampden tonight. I think a crowd, they reckon, around about 30,000. There are some pyrotechnics going off in amongst the Aberdeen supporters over in the northwest corner of the stadium. I know the SPFL released a statement in the wake of that game at Dens Park on Wednesday evening, warning supporters not to light these at these games. And that has fallen on deaf ears, it seems, for some, as the two sets of players break away from the pre-match photographs. The two skippers, Graham Shinney and Joe Newell, down below us shaking hands with John Beaton, the referee, and the coin toss will take place. Hibernian coming into this as the form side in this fixture. They've only lost 1 of the last 6 meetings, and Aberdeen have only won 2 of the last 8. And that 2-0 Hibs win at Pittodrie in early September thanks to goals from Lefondre and Doidge in 75 and 80 minutes, the only meeting so far this term, as the smoke streams across the north stand over on the far side. Just about ready to go, the referee's John Beaton. It's Marshall in goal for Hibs, Miller, Fish, Bushiri, Nabita, Tavares, Levitt, Newell and Johan, with Boyle and Venta up front. Roos in goal for Aberdeen, Garteman, Rubidzic and Jensen, Devlin and McKenzie, Barron, Shinney, McGrath and Clarkson, and Miovski will lead the line. Hibs were going to kick this one off, but I think it's a bit of a misunderstanding there. It's going to be Aberdeen who'll do so. They're going to go from left to right in the all red with gold flashes. Hibs in their green and white. It's all very traditional here at the National Stadium for the first of the League Cup semis, which John Beaton gets underway, and Clarkson rolls it all the way back to the edge of his own box for Kelleroos. Aberdeen beaten semi-finalists here last season, though it was back in January of this year, having led through Miovski, beaten 2-1 by Rangers after extra time. The sending off of their then skipper Anthony Stewart didn't exactly help matters just before the extra half hour, as Hibs pick up the ball for the first time with a beater down this near side. This pass cut out by Devlin, who finds Miovski. Aberdeen put 4 past Motherwell at Fir Park on Wednesday, 4-2 win, much needed for them. Hibs were 2-0 up against Ross County at Easter Road, only to be hauled back and having to settle for a 2 each draw, as Barron runs into trouble in the middle of the pitch. One back by Dylan Venta on this near side. Tavares to his left, looking for Boyle. Garteman's the covering Aberdeen player, and he's tripped by Martin Boyle, and that will be a free kick to the Dons down in this near side touchline, about level with their own penalty spot on this right hand side. John Collins, who is going to settle the quicker? It could be so important tonight.
I think Aberdeen looks like they're going to play a lot of long balls direct early in the game, try and play in Hibs half. Hibs are a football team, they're going to try and get the ball down. And like what I've seen there from Vent early in the game, he's coming back and robbing the Aberdeen midfield player. It's important he comes into that midfield area and helps Newell and Levitt.
As John's saying there, Willie, Hibs are a good football team, but Aberdeen proved at Fir Park the other night that they are a good football team. The long ball was a tactic at Rugby Park last Sunday. It didn't work by any stretch, as Barron fells Tavares midway inside the Hibs half on this near side. So both teams capable of playing the ball on the deck. That might be the way to go.
Well, I would think from an Aberdeen point of view, with the midfield that they've got, then they've got to try and build it up through that midfield, particularly Clarkson and Barron, you know, and McGrath as well. I mean, you're talking about quality footballers, so I think, you know, if you've got a reason to play it forward, then you've got to make sure that the tactic's right and you get up behind and you close the space. But for me, I think Aberdeen should be trying to play it through the middle.
Bushiri stepping out of defence, finding Jad Tavares, who's fouled by Gartenman just inside the Aberdeen half, and John Beaton just having a word with the Dane, the Aberdeen number 6, Tavares, who has resurrected his Hibs career under Nick Montgomery. John, he was in Siberia for so long.
Yeah, it's incredible, 12 months, he got nowhere near the first team. that all of a sudden Nick Montgomery's come in. In fairness, he's got Portuguese coaches who's obviously seen something in him, helped him. His confidence is getting better. Scored a goal last week, so the manager likes what he's seeing.
He's good pals with Duke in the Aberdeen squad, though. Duke was one of the stars of the show for Aberdeen last term. He's having to settle for a place on the bench while Tavares has forced his way into the Hibs starting 11, both coming from the Benfica B team. As Hibs pick it up on the right-hand side. And it's Lewis Miller who's being put under pressure by McGrath, who slides in and wins it back for Aberdeen. It's found Miovski. Miovski's at the edge of the box, goes for goal himself. He'll have to settle for the corner though, as that comes back off Will Fish. Now Lewis Miller stayed down, but he was a little bit careless there. I'm not sure how sure it actually is. He'll be slightly embarrassed. I would have thought that he's had it nicked off him by Jamie McGrath. May well have caught him just in the insole there.
Good pressing from McGrath, but he's dwelling on the ball. You want to build from the back, but you've got to keep the ball moving quick.
I think he went down through embarrassment, actually. I don't think there was any contact whatsoever. He dwelt on it too long. He's making a meal of it. Maybe I'm being too hard on him. If there was contact, it was after McGrath had won the ball, but it gave Aberdeen that opportunity. They were looking for a handball as well. Didn't see that handball as Miovski decided to strike it towards goal, but it gives Aberdeen a corner, and Miller's still down getting treatment.
Yeah, it's going to be a little stoppage here. The Hibs player who's really resurrected his Hibs career. We're seeing a replay of Miovski striking the ball off Fish. I mean, he couldn't get much closer to him, in fairness. Now obviously they'll be checking that. There's no official stoppage check, because we'd know about it by now if there was. So it looks like Aberdeen will have to settle for the corner.
Those handballs are just crazy. Somebody's shooting 3 foot away from you.
Just never know nowadays, do you?
I know. The rules have got to be changed, hopefully, in the not too distant future.
In the 5th minute of the game, no goals. Lewis Miller's being helped off the pitch for now, so Hibs are going to have to defend this with 10 men. The first corner of the semi-final goes to Aberdeen. Their supporters off to the left, Hibs to the right as Leighton Clarkson takes it, drills it in low. I'm not sure it's what he intended. Johan clears it out for a throw-in over on the far side for Aberdeen, down by the corner flag. And Leighton Clarkson's got so much quality, couldn't display it there.
There's nothing more frustrating for a manager. Get a corner kick and he puts it, doesn't miss the first man.
He gave it away. Aberdeen the far side, where they fortuitously get it back. Clarkson level with 18. McGrath running into trouble. Wonderful skill from McGrath. Takes it down to the corner flag again. It's prevented from going over the byline by Miller, who's back on the pitch. Seems okay. Here's Venta picking up midway inside his own half, but his pass goes over the line, surely over on the far side, and that will be an Aberdeen throw-in over there. Goalless. Let's go back to Jensen.
Yeah, Clarkson normally very good with these set pieces, but on that occasion it was just dreadful. It's probably one of the worst corners that I've seen him taken. Aberdeen have started well though. They seem to be dominating the ball. I think they've had the ball in the Hibs half, certainly more than Hibs have been in the Aberdeen half. Not too many chances. I thought Miovski could have done better with that. I don't think he should have had the strike at goal. I think he had enough options up supporting him to make a better fist of that chance that he had.
Dylan Levitt there, who was at Dundee United with Jamie McGrath last season, both relegated. So that slipped through for Boyle. First run for Boyle down the right hand side of the Aberdeen box. Venta's in the middle. His cross goes way too far in front of him though, and that goes out for a throw-in over on the reverse side. The Aberdeen fans enjoyed that. The Aberdonian playing for Hibs, and he puts his cross out on the opposing side of the pitch. Throw-in to Aberdeen, and it's Hibs 0, Aberdeen 0. John.
I mean, there's a terrific run from Boyle. He's timed it in behind. Good pass. Where you want him to get it, byline. He's got to get a better delivery. Two players in the box. He's got to be getting closer to their heads.
It's a little bit concerning from an Aberdeen point of view. Jensen there just ball watching basically, and it's a simple pass in behind him that allows Boyle to hit the byline.
Long ball for Aberdeen all the way through to David Marshall, and the veteran heads clear straight to Graham Shinney. Shinney rolls it level the edge of the centre circle in the Hibs half, short to McGrath. Now with Miovski, he gives it away though to Fish. He finds Johan over on the far side. Miovski toes it away from him, and it breaks to Lewis Miller. It goes back to David Marshall, who knows this stadium more than anyone else on that football pitch this evening. And then McKenzie caught, but Aberdeen play on. Here's Miovski. The ref's brought it back though. He's wagging his finger as Miovski found himself inside the penalty area. It looked like there was an opportunity for an advantage for Aberdeen there, but the ref's brought it back for the free kick.
Lewis Miller's all over the place. He's dwelling on the ball, giving it away again. He's got to get switched on.
No yellow card for Will Fish there. Was there a call for John Beaton? Have a look at that.
I just missed the replay there, I'm sorry to say, but it was quite acrobatic again from Jack McKenzie. He should have let play go on, there's no doubt about it. Majowski's through. Majowski's got a chance.
Seem to be complaining about it though.
Well, they should be.
Free kick Aberdeen. And, Clarkson's over it again. You'll hope this is better than this corner just a moment ago. 0-0 in the early stages here at Hampden. Right footed from Clarkson, and it comes. It's headed clear by Fish, only as far as Gartenman. Heads it back the way to the edge of the penalty area. And then Majowski loses out, and Hibs come away in a counter with Boyle. He's managed to slip it to the equally pacey Ellie Youan on the right. Boyle continuing his run. Can Youan find him? He almost did, and it's the Aberdeen defender who puts it over his own bar. And behind for a corner, it was Barron actually back helping. Wonderful counter-attack. And if Aberdeen needed a warning of the threat of Ellie Youan and Martin Boyle, that was it right there.
Magnificent counter-attack from Hibs. Boyle wins in the middle of the pitch, plays a superb ball out to Youan. Youan opens it up, plays a really good ball, and it's excellent defending from Aberdeen's central defender.
It's Barron who was back helping, and that's potentially goal-saving. It's a great ball from Youan. The weight of it was perfect, and Boyle was waiting to knock it home.
I thought it was pretty close to ending up in the back of the net though as well. Brilliant from Barron, there's no doubt about that. If he wasn't there, that was a goal.
Boyle will take the resultant corner on this near side, the Hibs left. It's as poor as Clarkson's one was earlier, but he gets the bonus of getting a second chance because Clarkson himself slices it behind for a second corner in quick succession. So Martin Boyle will get that out of his system here. Hibs with the big men up inside the Aberdeen box. 10th minute of the game, 0-0. Tavares comes short, but it's Boyle chipping it into the 6-yard area. Hybe got his head to it, was Venta, breaks back to him and lashed over the crossbar by Youan. From round about the penalty spot, he puts it over. The first glaring opportunity of this semi-final goes Hibs' way, but he can't take it, and it stays goalless.
It's a great opportunity. He's got to be hitting the target. It's a poor miss. You know,
OK, John, there's 4 Aberdeen players in front of him, which maybe spooked him from taking the low road, if you like. He's gone for the top corner, and he's put it well over.
Just get your head over it, John, don't you? See, even if there's bodies there, it could easily just deflect. Little touch, ends up in the back of the net. Big chance, should have done much better in my book.
Big chance.
Yeah, it's the best chance of the game so far. Hibs have had it. It's been a good little period for the green and white half of Edinburgh. The maroon and white half are here tomorrow to take on the favourites, Rangers. Here, that's a 3 o'clock kickoff, also live here on Sportsound on BBC Radio Scotland across the frequencies. Here is Rocky Bushiri, just to the edge of his own box, goes back low to his goalkeeper Marshall, short to Levitt, back to Bushiri. This time he just bangs it up the pitch under pressure. The header from Jensen finds McGrath, who nods it out to McKenzie over on the far side, hoists it forward. McGrath giving chase, Levitt's covering for Hibs. He hooks it down the line and out for an Aberdeen throw-in over there on that far side. McKenzie is over it.
I think from an Aberdeen point of view, you'll take Hibs playing the ball out from the back all day long, won't you, and try to just make sure that the press is good enough, and question whether their ability on the ball is good enough.
Graham Shinney picks up, rolls it forward to McGrath. First time low ball out to McKenzie, back to McGrath, goes down. No fouls, is John Beaton. Hibs have it. Nick Montgomery waving the edge of his technical area. Barry Robson to his left, also out there in front of the yawning technical areas here at the National Stadium. Here is Jordan Avita in field to Tavares. He was nicked off by Barron. Really good play by a reborn Connor Barron, you have to say, as he turns it back there to McKenzie, who then turns away from Youan and rolls it back to Kelleroos. It's the Aberdeen goalkeeper rolling it low out to Gartenman on this near side. Roos was injured, wasn't he, against Rangers in the semi-final last season. He missed out on the dire end of the Jim Goodwin era, which came in the weeks after that. Barron again goes back to his goalkeeper. Roos at the edge of his box. Goes long out to this near side, but that's going to be too high for Devlin, and out it goes for a Hibs throw-in. Aberdeen, they stayed down here after the Motherwell game. They didn't go back to the Granite City after that 4-2 victory. They've been training just over at Queen's Park's ground. Lesser Hampden off to the left-hand side of where we are behind the West Stand. Probably a sensible decision given the state of the roads right now, up and down from Aberdeen down to the south. Marshall picks up inside his own penalty area, under no pressure really, takes ages, and then rifles it high up to this near side where it's won by Devlin rather than Obita, and it's Shinnie caressing it back to Gartenmann. 12.5 goalless minutes in here. It's with Devlin, short ball back to Clarkson. All your post-match reaction from the 3 o'clock kickoffs and the early kickoff in Dingwall at bbc.co.uk/sportscotland if you're after that just now. Wins in the Premiership for Celtic and for Kilmarnock. All the other leagues are in action as well, and as I say, all the scores from earlier are available at that website. Bushiri picks up inside his own box and rolls it to Marshall. 13 minutes in. There is a sports scene tonight, incidentally, 7:30. Highlights of those two games, Ross County, Celtic, Kilmarnock, Motherwell. Johan, good skill on the far side, goes across the halfway line. Barron trying to track him. Up the line for Miller. Miller's level with the Aberdeen penalty spot, up against Jack McKenzie. McKenzie standing his ground well and eventually being fouled, and that's a free kick to Aberdeen. Down by the corner flag, deep inside their own half, over on that north stand side, as Hibs try and attack the goal to the left. It is, though, an Aberdeen free kick. It's Hibs 0, Aberdeen 0.
Don't think it's a great a great deal in the game, is there, from either side? I think probably that one chance for Johan. We haven't had an opportunity for Aberdeen really yet, the Majowski strike, but as I said at the time, I thought that he could have brought some of his teammates into it and made a better decision on it. I think Conor Barron's looking pretty prominent in the middle. Jim McGrath seems to be, playing almost as a second striker up there. He's very far advanced, trying to get in contact with Majowski up top. For Hibs, it just seems, John, pretty straightforward with a 4-4-2.
4-4-2, Hibs trying to build out from the back, but in fairness, Aberdeen have been pressing them fairly well.
There's Devlin wide on the right, midway inside Hibs territory. Don's trying to attack here. Devlin wins the throw-in off a Beta, but level with the Hibs 6-yard line. He's been a real light for Aberdeen. Nicky Devlin signed on a free transfer, having been Livingston captain. And he's got a throw-in here on this near side. Main south stand side of the National Stadium. Gets to Clarkson, he plays it straight off to Varish, and out it goes for another Aberdeen throw-in, which has been bowled back to the right angle of the box now for Barron. He's under pressure. There's a little buzz bomb. Barron really good, twisting and turning, and perhaps overcooked it slightly, but he wins another throw-in off to Varish. Devlin will take again, this time level with the Hibs 18. It's the first 15 minutes come and gone. No goals as yet. Bowled in by Devlin to the right angle of the box for McGrath. Back to Devlin, low ball short to Barron. Skips away from one, finds Clarkson, tries to scoop it back towards Barron. And Tavares, the covering player for Hibs, he's actually done really well. Strong play from Jaya Tavares, who clears out to this near side. Gartenmann looking to keep it alive. Hibs get it away, it's going to break back here to Rubidzic. Decides to take a touch against Boyle rather than the easy ball, and what on earth did he do there? He kind of threw himself head first down onto the ground. He made contact with the ball on his way down, but also the Hibs player, and I think the referee has decided that it was such a ridiculous move that to give the foul, because he's completely wiped out the Hibs player as well in the process.
Yeah, I think it was awkward, wasn't it? It was definitely going down at the time, and they decided to almost dive into the Hibs player. I think the referee was right in calling it a foul.
Gartenmann has it for Aberdeen, first time up into the air. Devlin's going to get there, he nods it back the way towards Gartenmann, who controls in the chest and then rolls it into midfield for Shinnie. Shinnie turning away from Venta and squaring it to the left there for Jensen. A ball forward to the halfway line for McGrath, controls, under pressure now from Fish, and out it goes for the throw-in to Aberdeen, about level with the edge of the centre circle inside their own half over on the far side. Hibs have had the best chance, Aberdeen have had most of the ball though, John.
Yeah, I think I've been a little bit disappointed. Hibs haven't been able to get any real possession and control any part of the game. They've had the chance, but they're struggling to get out from the back. They're trying to get out, but Aberdeen are making it very difficult when they're pushing numbers high into the Hibs half. And Aberdeen are controlling the game with the ball at this moment in time.
It's Hibs' 6th League Cup semi-final in 8 seasons. They've got a pretty good record in the Scottish Cup as well, as Boyle almost profits on a loose ball by McKenzie, but it's won back by Jensen, who finds Barron inside his own half, just outside the centre circle, and then rolling it out to this near side for Gartenmann. Back to Rubidzic. Well, these two teams notoriously haven't been keeping many clean sheets this season, so I'm personally not expecting the 0-0 scoreline to last too long this evening. As Clarkson turns it back to Roos. Even with a comfortable victory at Motherwell, Aberdeen conceded twice during the week, and we know what happened to Hibs the night before. 2-0 up, seemingly cruising to 3 points, and to settle for 1 against Ross County. As Miller rolls it forward to Johan. Ball in field to Levitt, back to Johan. He's on the spin. He's away from McKenzie, and he rolls it out to the near side to Obita, though I'm not sure he was the initial intended target, but he's on it anyway. And he rolls it back to Rocky Bushiri. Infield it comes to Levitt. If they can get him fit, what a good signing he'll be, Dylan Levitt. Wales international, impressed particularly in his first season on loan from Manchester United at Dundee United.
He likes to get on the ball. He's always making himself available from the back four. I'd like to see him a little bit playing it further forward, a little bit quicker. Sometimes he tends to go a little bit sideways and backwards, but that'll come confidence. He's got to believe in himself. He can play the forward passes.
Yes, it's a good move for both parties potentially if Levitt can find form. And he's on the ball here, rolling it right to left of the circle for Newell. Scoops it up, looking for Obita. He spotted him. Obita, left hand side of the box, is at the byline, pulls it back to Barrett, shoots, and it is blocked by Gartham, and behind it goes for the corner. Hibs flickering into life there. Almost 19 minutes in, 0-0. Jair Tavares, he got his first goal for the club on Tuesday night, looking to double up in double quick time, but he too has to settle for the corner.
First phase of play, Hibs have had no positions half. Passes, 4, 5, 6 passes. Good penetrating pass from Newell to the byline. Obita cuts it back. That was going in the bottom corner from Tavares. Unlucky there. Good play from Hibs.
Boyle and Tavares are over the corner. Looks like Boyle in swinger from the Hibs left as they attack the goal to the left. Right footed from Boyle, in it comes. It beats just about everyone, I think, there. Is that going for a goal kick or a corner? It is a goal kick, so it's not touched anyone on its way through there. Nick Montgomery down below us wanted a corner. There's a tempting ball in by Martin Boyle, and neither the attacking players or the defending players could get a touch onto it. Stays Hibs 0, Aberdeen 0. It's now Aberdeen in possession with Rubetic right of his own box. Long ball forward, and Obita with the cushion header. Barron also with the cushion header, and out for a Hibs throw-in on the near side.
Yeah, Liam, that's a couple of corners that Aberdeen haven't defended particularly well. You know, I do feel that someone has got to go and try to dominate the ball when the cross comes in, and in both occasions, that one in particular, Aberdeen were found wanting. It just flashes right across the face of the goal. All it needs is a little touch from a green and white top, and it ends up in the back of the net. So I think Barry Robson will be a little bit concerned, their organisation at the set pieces.
Hibs beginning to settle now, I feel. 20 in, 0-0. See the Scotland manager Stevie Clark and his assistant John Carver are in attendance tonight. Scotland squad for those final Euro 2024 qualifiers will be named next week, ahead of Georgia and Norway, as Rocky Bushiri comes forward. His pass cut out by Clarkson. So Devlin, who plays it off Tavares, and out for an Aberdeen throw-in on the near side. The last 5 minutes have been much better from Hibernian, John.
Really, yeah, much better. They've got a little bit control of the ball, but it's really interesting. Initial phase, Hibs goalkeeper gets it. Aberdeen instantly block Fish and let Bushiri get it. As soon as Bushiri gets it, they rush him and force him forward, and he's on his weaker foot, so it's a good tactic from Aberdeen's point of view.
John was in charge the last time Hibs won this competition back in 2007 as man of the match. Still very much part of the Hibs squad. Lewis Stevenson on the bench, as that's nicked forward by Aberdeen. Bushiri puts it out under pressure from Miovski. That will be a throw-in to the Dons on this near side. It was Miovski who scored the opener against Rangers in the semi last season, and he put on enough pressure there to force it out for an Aberdeen throw-in on this near side to be taken by Devlin. Miovski's next goal will take him into double figures. He's already halfway to his tally of 18 last season. His partner in crime, Duke, scored 18 last term as well. Just the 2 so far from him, as the Aberdeen ball from Devlin comes into the box, but it's an easy one right through to David Marshall. The quality in the final third's not there for Aberdeen yet. It was on Wednesday, not tonight so far.
Well, so far no. You know, they haven't created any real opportunity. You know, the chance that they got was really Miller dwelling in the ball and, you know, allowing Aberdeen to put him under pressure and set Miovski through. So it's been disappointing. Also a little bit disappointing in the midfield, I think, for Aberdeen. You know, with the players that they've got in there and the numbers that they've got in there, they should be doing much better.
Yeah, they don't seem to be getting on the ball. Barron is getting the ball now and again. It's primarily from him chasing Hibs players down, and once again another example of it there as he puts it out for a throw to Hibs on this near side. We've approached the end of the first quarter of the game. 0-0 in the first semi-final of this season's League Cup. Remember, Hearts Rangers to come tomorrow. The final is on Sunday, December the 17th. Back here, Bashiri takes the free kick quickly and sweeps it back to his goalkeeper Marshall. Aberdeen without a win over Hibs in a year and 1 day. They won 4-1 at Pittodrie. This has not been their favourite fixture since then, though. The last goal against Hibs came in that match. Is that Leighton Clarkson back heel? As Miovski does brilliantly to win it back off a beat on this near side. Rolls it into Barron, looks for Miovski again, right hand side of the box. It's an early pull back to Shinnie, who scuffs it, almost poked McGrath's way, and Miller prevents Jamie McGrath from getting a clear sighted goal, and it goes out for a throw into Aberdeen level with the Hibs 18 on that far side. 0-0 it remains.
A decent effort. Miovski doing extremely well. I think Hibs overplaying it again. Abita trying to take the ball down on the byline, when really I think he should just let it go out for the throw-in and get organised, but Shinnie just doesn't catch it, does he? It's a tight angle, yeah, but he swings his right leg at it way too viciously. I think it needed a bit more control, try to get it just on target. Big chance for Aberdeen though.
Meantime, a rugby tackle from Lewis Miller over on the far side of McGrath's resulted in a free kick as good as a corner over on that northeast corner of the stadium on that far side. The Aberdeen left as they attack the goal to the right. Plenty in red in the middle. Hibs have everyone back to defend it. Clarkson over it, right-footed, bends it into the box, too high for Rubičić, headed away by Fish. And we'll drop back to the centre circle here for Devlin. Shinnie's an option to his right. Devlin instead goes more direct, clips it through, looking for Miovski on the stretch, can't get there, and it's right through to Marshall. And on 24.5 here in Hampden, it stays Hibs 0, Aberdeen 0.
I think it's worth a try, that. It's a difficult procedure to enact when Devlin's just trying to clip it over the top, but Miovski's the type of player that will see the space, will try to take advantage of the space. There was a little pocket of area there that he could have taken advantage of, but just couldn't stretch it.
Lovely touch, Clarkson winning it back for Aberdeen in the midfield. Here's Miovski up to the edge of the penalty area, goes for goal, it's scuffed and it's blocked easily. Here's Miovski again though, picking up the loose ball at the edge of the Hibs box, under pressure. Johan wins it back, lovely little flick to Tavares. Tavares back to Johan, pushes it back to Newell. Newell's got Miller over on the right hand side. That was a promising Aberdeen attack, but now they're having to funnel back to defend as Hibs come down the right hand side with Lewis Miller. Away from McGrath he goes, still has it down the right hand side. He's managed to knock it forward, chance to cross into the area, it comes in behind from Venta's ball for a Hibs corner. Another good little counter that. Aberdeen had numbers forward, and suddenly they find themselves under pressure again.
All started with great defensive work from Johan in front of his own box near enough. Win it, kept it, played it simple, just what he's got to do in that area. Hibs broke up on the right hand side, some good play from Miller there. Another good delivery required from Newell's left peg.
Hibs have a winning record against Aberdeen in League Cup meetings. They've won 10 to Aberdeen's 8 and 6 draws. This being the 25th time they've clashed in this tournament. Aberdeen won the last one on penalties in the quarter-finals at Easter Road. And Joe Newell is over there to take it. Conor Barron just organising the Aberdeen defence. It's going to be an in-swinging corner from Joe Newell right in front of the Aberdeen fans over there, the northwest end, and it comes a really good delivery, headed away by Rubičić though. And Newell will have to retrieve it for a throw-in, just about level the edge of the D of the Aberdeen box. Wasn't the worst delivery in the world from Newell. And skipper, the absence of Hanlon, who's on the bench. He's going to leave the throw-in for Miller over on the far side. Looks like he's going to try a long throw here. No, this is a tactic Aberdeen have been trying to deploy recent times. 0-0 after 27 here. Miller striding the ball down with his green and white shirt, and now he'll bowl it in towards the penalty spot. Rubičić came, doesn't get there. It's won by Fish, nodded back by Johan, and then hooked clear by the left boot of Jamie McGrath up towards halfway. and it's picked up by Obita, and he was back to his goalkeeper. 27 in, Willie, 0-0. Who's the happier manager?
I think you could toss a coin, probably. Maybe, maybe Nick Montgomery, but that's a very fine margin. I think Barry Robson won't be unhappy with how his teams perform.
Well, Tavares booked for a foul on Shinnie in the midfield down below us.
That's 2 or 3 times Tavares has went into the pocket, received it with his back to goal, not aware that there's defenders, turning into defenders, losing possession. I can tell he's not comfortable in that zone. He's a winger, but the manager's asked him to go into those little pockets. Harsh booking, it shouldn't be a booking, my opinion.
There's not a great deal in it. I think his boot was a little bit on top of the ball rather than, going for... And the referee was right there, Joe. Yes, you should be saying that it was a definite free kick, and I should be saying, no, that was a good tackle.
In my opinion.
I think it was just a little bit...
It's the studs on top of Graham Shinnie's left foot, isn't it?
Modern day, that's a booking, yeah. You see it in slow motion, he's caught the top of his foot, his studs.
Well, Tavares, he's a cousin of Portugal Euro 2016 winner Renato Sanchez.
Nowadays it wasn't even a foul.
No.
You have to get with the times, gentlemen. You all do. As Rubičić rolls it into the midfield for Shinnie. Approaching the half hour, still no goals in the first of the semis. Clarkson to Barron on the near side, short to Garteman on the Aberdeen right. Dinking it into the Hibs half for Miovski. Difficult one for him to deal with. He's managed to push it back to Clarkson inside his own half. Now Garteman for Shinnie. And he rolls it back to Rubičić. There's been too much space for Aberdeen to work in tonight so far. Hibs have been standing their ground pretty well. Barry Robson's cutting a more and more frustrated figure down below us, having to come back the way. Hibs pressing the game really well. Comes back to Roos, and they're resorting to the long ball again from the Aberdeen keeper, and that goes straight back into Hibs possession. Obita with a header, but it's Rubičić who just clatters it forward, and all the way through it comes.
I think
to David Marshall.
Roos has probably kicked the ball 6 times, and 6 times they've given possession away. You've got it. There comes a moment you think, what's the point of kicking it long and giving the ball away?
Well, they did it for 90 minutes at Rugby Park last week, so you would think that they would have learned the lesson.
They did, yeah, particularly when they've got options. I still think, the wing back should be making himself available. You've got 4 in midfield as well, that surely, goodness, you can put it to one of the 3 centre backs or a wing back, and then look for a midfield player. I don't think the midfield players are looking enough for the ball, John, as well. I don't think they're demanding it enough for Aberdeen. I think that's a weak area just now for them, and it shouldn't be.
Graham Shinnie fouled over on the far side by Venta. Aberdeen free kick. Graham Shinnie was in the beaten Inverness team the last time Aberdeen won this trophy, 2014, as it's knocked into the Hibs box. Miovski pinches it off Fish, rolls it out wide right for Devlin. His ball back in, though, is cut out by Bushiri, and Fish launches the ball forward as Rubičić, under pressure from Boyle, does well to flick it back to Roos, the edge of his box. He finds Jensen, he goes long, chasing after it down the left is McGrath. He's going to get there. Miovski's waiting in the middle here. Miovski pulls back. Chance here for Aberdeen. McGrath waited too long. It's pulled back and blocked, but it breaks back McGrath's way. Wide left hand, the Hibs box. Crosses, blocked by Miller. Back to McGrath again. Cannot free himself of Lewis Miller here. Rolls it back to Jensen. It's a big up and under towards Clarkson. Headed away by Obita. Barron controls the edge of the box. Looks for McGrath, can't find him though, and out for a Hibs throw-in over on the far side. 31 on the clock. Hibs 0, Aberdeen 0.
Yeah, it looked as though it was developing quite well for Aberdeen on that occasion. Poor pass from Conor Barron, which is unusual as well, but McGrath showing a fair bit of skill out on the left hand side, trying to create the opportunity, but in fairness to Hibs, they defended the situation extremely well, closed the space down, as they have done for most of this game so far.
Aberdeen winning it back over on the far side, but losing it quickly to Levitt. And then Miller knocks it forward to Venta, looking for Boyle. Boyle scampered forward, he's onto it. He's on his own though, he's inside the box. Boyle shoots, good slide block challenge there by Garteman. Concedes Hibs' latest corner. But again, Martin Boyle finding himself behind the Aberdeen defence.
He's always going to look for that run in behind. You can tell the manager's giving the instructions. Venti's dropping it in the hole, picking it up in the pocket, turning, playing a lovely ball. So it's worrying for Aberdeen because he's got the legs on all the central defenders.
He's going to take this corner, wearing those luminous orange boots that stood him so well 2 years ago against Rangers here. The first Tybee to score a hat-trick at the National Stadium since former Aberdeen striker Harper's all-time top goal scorer and legend Joey Harper. As Boyle takes towards the penalty spot, won by Bushiri, didn't really know what it was. Newell's efforts deflected off the back of Venta and behind the left-hand post for a goal kick. Could have gone anywhere, that. 32.5 in, goalless.
It fell nicely for Joe Yule. You fancy him with his left pick. He caught it sweet enough, but the direction was off target.
But the deflection from Venta could easily have outfoxed Kellaroos. He seemed pretty calm, to be fair to the Aberdeen keeper. We're going to follow in the footsteps or the gloves of Theo Snelders, who won the Cup double in 89-90. Incredible, Willie, to think that Aberdeen won 2 trophies that season. They've only won 2 trophies in the 33 years that have come and gone since.
Yeah, not enough, that's for sure. You know, a club like Aberdeen will be looking to definitely have a better haul, and you know, look back, it was 2014, wasn't it, the last time that they lifted the trophy?
Yeah, they won this one in 95, and then, as you say, in 2014. Yeah. Barry Robson down there, the manager, scored the first of their penalties in the shootout. Long ball from David Marshall, headed away by Rubidzic up to halfway. McKenzie taking it down on the turn. Lewis Miller has recovered from a ropey start and settled very nicely into the game, and he's forced McKenzie into the error on the far side, and Hibs have a throw-in, which Miller takes himself, bowling it back to Will Fish, who finds Levitt. And two, as we say, former Manchester United trainees. Levitt is left there now. Fish still on loan from Old Trafford, and he's in possession. And he knocks it forward to Venta. First time ball out to Miller on the far side. I think a foul by Jensen on Venta over there, and the referee's going to book Richard Jensen. It looked pretty late from where we are. We're on the opposite side of the stadium. I think is it Miller who he's caught, rather than Venta. So it's going to be a yellow card for Jensen, and he joins Jair Tavares and John Beaton's book. 0-0, 10 to play in this first half.
It looked a little bit late, didn't it? I thought that Jensen goes in, he slides into. I don't think he gets the ball. There's no doubt that it is a yellow card. I'm just watching the replay here.
He's off the ground as well, isn't he?
He's behind the ball too. So there isn't really an effort for the ball there. I think it's quite deliberate. The referee's every right to show a yellow card there.
Hibs in possession with Levitt, rolling it out to Miller. First time pushing it in field to Johan. Left to the centre circle for Newell. Newell with a low ball out to Obita on this near side. Level with the edge of the D of the Aberdeen box. Short Ellie Johan. Back to Obita. Rolls it back with the left foot for Newell. Newell looking for options ahead of him. Johan was the target, gets it back to Newell, then out to Obita on the left-hand touchline, infield to Tavares, back to Newell. Newell now changing pace, moving to the edge of the box. It's opened up for Newell. He shoots with the right, but it's weak and it's held by Kellaroos. But it is a shot on target for Hibs. 35 played, 0-0.
Good football down here on the left-hand side, little triangle football, popping it 10-yard passes, and all of a sudden Newell makes a penetrating run. He should really do better. It's on his right foot, but it's a poor effort.
And it's straight to the goalkeeper as well, isn't it? It's an easy take for Kellaroos, doesn't have to work for it. But you're right, John, you know, some really good play. You know, as the game's developing, I think Hibs are playing a better football. They're looking the more easier on the eye as well. They've created the better chances too, so as it's developing towards half time, then I think Nick Montgomery's got to be happy with the performance.
Johan should have put them ahead early in the game. Big chance missed. It's been a good performance by and large from Hibs, though. Venta's pass goes straight into touch for an Aberdeen throw-in over on the far side. That incidentally from Newell, the first effort on target in the game, albeit he had one a few minutes earlier blocked by his own man. Aberdeen throw to be taken by Jensen on a booking up against Martin Boyle. Not ideal for him. Johan, lovely touch back to Jair Tavares, moving towards the Aberdeen box, slipping it forward, cut out by Rubidzic. Clarkson gives it away straight to Newell. He's just not the same player this season, Leighton Clarkson. Boyle picks up left hand side, the Aberdeen box, dances into it, tries to knock it across. It's cut out by Devlin, and behind for another Hibernian corner. They're knocking on the door here.
They're starting to put pressure, constant pressure on this end. Aberdeen are struggling. They're giving the ball away too easily. There's not enough movement. Man in possession for Aberdeen at the back. He's not got enough options.
This is Hibernian's 6th corner of this first half. 37 minutes in. It's taken short by Boyle to Tavares. Back to Boyle. Back to Levitt. It's to the left of the D, looks to get the ball into the box, cut out by McGrath. Miovski finds Barron. Aberdeen looking to hit the counter here. The challenge on Barron's a good one, but it's only halted him momentarily, but won back brilliantly there by Will Fish on his way back to his defensive posting. Nicks it off Barron. He wasn't quick enough in deciding where his pass should go, and it stays Hibs 0, Aberdeen 0. And Aberdeen gifting possession back to Hibernian.
Levitt's been the key player for me for Hibs. He's getting on the ball now and he's playing passes, forward passes, not sideways.
Boyle, Obita left-hand side of the box is crossed too high for Venta, and it'll go out on the other side of the pitch for an Aberdeen throw-in.
Needs to be lowered, doesn't it, from Obita? I think, you know, if he drills that one across the face, then he's got an opportunity there, or he's got options there with the Hibs players getting themselves in front, and you know, he just puts it too high. It's a little clip. And it's Vente that he's trying to find, but for me, I think Vente's made a decent run towards the back post, the near post, and if he puts it low,
keeps it on the grass. He should have kept it on the grass.
Yeah.
Willie, what's going on with Leighton Clarkson? I mean, he was magnificent last season, barely a stray pass. I'm not sure he's found a teammate tonight.
No, he's lost his form, isn't it? That's why he's been in and out of the team as well, and it's normally either Clarkson or Barron that plays in the side. Both of them, I don't know if they've started, both of them have started a game this season, but certainly normally one of them is in the team. But Clarkson, no, he's been disappointing. Normally his set pieces are extremely effective, and I think generally they are, but in terms of having an influence in the game tonight in particular and other games during this season, then he hasn't been the same player. Barron has been the one that, if you're going to pick out anything between the two of them, then Barron has been the more influential.
Yeah, and you mentioned Dylan Levitt as we wait for the play to get back underway. Stoppage for attention to Jamie McGrath. We talked about him earlier in the match, John. If they can get him fully fit, then he's one heck of a player.
Yeah, he's neat and tidy. He always wants the ball to his feet, makes good angles to receive it, looks, as I say, just to take his game up to the next level, more forward passes.
Bushiri with a foul up the other end on Miovski. That's going to be a free kick to Aberdeen, about 25 yards from goal, almost bang centre of the pitch. Miovski's hurt his shoulder, and that's going to be a free kick to Aberdeen. To answer Willie's question about Barron and Clarkson, this is the first time they started together.
Yeah, that would sound about right.
Clumsy from Bushiri.
Yeah. I think Miovski tried to take it down in his chest, isn't he? And
he did.
Bushiri tries to just go right through him in that occasion. Very strong challenge, a free kick, and we know that Clarkson's capable from this distance, so maybe this is his moment.
It's been an underwhelming season for Leighton Clarkson so far, just the one goal. It did come in this tournament against Stirling Albion in the last 16 at Fourth Bank. As we go into the final 5 minutes of the opening 45, no goals as yet. It's a long way out, but Clarkson more than capable. Maybe a little bit further back than 25 actually, almost at the 30 mark. Clarkson walks away from the ball, the referee just about ready. Clarkson will now run towards it, right-footed, straight into the wall, breaks back to Clarkson, angles it out towards Gartenman. There's a head knock there on this near side, that's going to go Hibs' way. The Hibs player got there first, up against Gartenman. They're both down now, and that will be a free kick to Hibs. Still in Venta, I think it was the Hibs player who actually managed to get there ahead of Gartenman. He stuck the nut on the back of his head, and they'll both need a bit of attention now. 0-0, 41 played.
Yeah, there's a case there to say that's very similar to the Bushiri challenge, because Gartenman's not getting that ball. He's not getting it. You know, Vente is way up ahead of him. He comes in, he puts his forehead into the back of the striker. He'll be saying that it's accidental, and it might very well be accidental, but you know, I think two of them are very, the two situations are very similar, rather rash challenges from defenders.
Hibs looking to get into their 12th League Cup final. They've been in 4 League Cup finals since the turn of the century. Aberdeen, only Celtic and Rangers have won this tournament more often than them, but even then it's only 6 times. Most recently, as we were talking about, in 2014, won it in 1955 under Davy Shaw, before subsequent successes in 76 under Ali McLeod. Jarvie and Robb with the goals. Willie will remember that well, I'm sure, despite the fact it's nearly 50 years ago now. And then against Hibs under Alec Ferguson, it was always the trophy that evaded Alec Ferguson before he prevailed in 1985 against tonight's opponents. Smith and Scott did it in 89 against Rangers. It was Aitken in 95 against Dundee, and then Derek McInnes against Cally Thistle in 2014, as that goes back to David Marshall. Play resumes and both players are back on after the head knock. Flicked on by Tavares. Important period in the match this. You can score before half-time. What a boost it gives you. We saw Aberdeen concede late in the first half at Kilmarnock last Sunday. We'll be desperate that Hibs don't do what Kelly did on that occasion as we head towards the interval here at Hampden. Hibs will be feeling the same. Rubedzic heading away from Boyle. Barron can't... Well, he's actually managed to keep in play. Back to Devlin, but his long ball swings over the line and out for a Hibs throw-in on this near side.
Just feel Hibs are playing with more composure, more confidence. Aberdeen, there's a lot of anxiety, a lot of tension. Yep. Players are hooking up the pitch, clearing their lines as if it's the last 5 minutes and they're 1-0 up. I think it's the first half. They should be settled into the game now.
Semi-finals can do funny things to you. You two know that, I'm sure. As Hibs pick up wide on the right with Miller, his pass goes straight to Mackenzie, but brilliantly won back by Newell there, just as it looked like McGrath was going to get onto it. And a lovely turn there by Johan away from Rubedzic, taking him right out of the equation. This pass was poor, and that is Eli Johan in microcosm. It's Aberdeen pick it up again on the left. It's Mackenzie firing it for Miovski's not getting there. Fish puts it out for an Aberdeen throw-in. 43, almost 44 played. Hibs 0, Aberdeen 0. And that is what Eli Johan's all about.
He shows a magnificent bit of skill in the middle of the park, and then all of a sudden he's got a simplest pass to play his teammate in, and he can't do the simple thing. It's so frustrating, man.
He is a frustrating player. The Hibs fans must be pulling their hair out because he comes up with special moments. I mean, his double at Tynecastle this season was magnificent in the derby for Hibs. It really was, because that game looked all but done and dusted for Hearts. Yet Johan stepped up 2 goals in less than 2 minutes at the school end at Tynecastle in front of the Hibs fans. No better place to do it if you're a Hibs player, as Newell launches it forward. Collected here by Jensen. Perhaps doing it at Hampden in a cup semi or a final would equal it, to be fair. So it's rolled out to Mackenzie on the left, trying to get away from Johan. He shows too much of it to Miller, who wins it back for Hibs. Aberdeen just haven't been able to string more than 5 or 6 passes together. Shinnie wins it back for them in the midfield though, and he is tripped. He's bought a few of those tonight. He's a clever player, Graham Shinnie, in that regard. He loves the battle, but he knows when he's able to get the better of his opponent when he's under pressure on the ball. But they've wasted the free kick in double quick time. Hibs have it back on the near side. As we look down at the 4th official, here's Grant Irvin, and 2 additional minutes have been bolted on to the end of this goalless first half. Willie Miller.
Yeah, no, just on Shinnie, he uses all his experience to go down. It's not a free kick, I'm sorry, and the referee's right on top of it, but he just kind of falls over it. He knows he's under pressure, he knows that he's likely, who does it, he's not going to win possession. He goes down and gets a free kick. But yeah, there's no doubt at half-time, I think Nick Montgomery will be the happier manager. I think Barry Robson will be looking for much more composure from his team in the second half.
1 shot on target in the game. It came for Hibs, who have shaded the possession on 53% as it stands. 6 corners to Aberdeen's 1. They have been the better team, but still nothing each. Long ball from Jensen is dreadful. He's all the way through to Marshall. He's apologising.
They keep missing out their midfield. They've got good football players in the middle of the park. I don't understand it.
Well, the Aberdeen fans are wondering if it would be the performance of Kilmarnock or the performance of Motherwell they'd see tonight. So far it's the Kilmarnock game.
Yeah, it's just, you know, I think simplify it a little bit. I would say to the 3 central defenders, you know, everything seems to be 40 yards plus in terms of their passing, and it doesn't have to be that. You know, they want to try and, you know, cut that down to 10, 15 yards, play it into the midfield and try to build it up. You know, they should have extra bodies in there the way both teams are playing, and they should be able to get you know, more men on the ball, but you've got to look to play it into midfield, and sometimes at the back, or the majority of the times at the back, the back 3 in particular are not looking for the midfield.
Gartenman has it at the edge of his box, goes back to his keeper. He'll have to be careful after his
there was a
header last week.
There was a perfect example. 2 centre halves and a goalkeeper against 1 Hibs player. The left centre half of Aberdeen doesn't want the ball. Didn't want the ball. Leaving his goalkeeper no option but to kick up the pitch.
Miovski, right hand side of the Hibs box. His pass bounces back off Levitt, and the referee blows the half-time whistle. Not too much in the way of quality in this first League Cup semi-final of the season. We thought it would be tight. It's the tightest of scorelines at 0-0. Hibs have been the better team, though. I don't think there's much doubt about that. I don't think you'd find too many arguing with that. Even in the Aberdeen camp, they've missed a couple of really good chances, particularly Ellie Johannes on 10 minutes when it dropped back to him just beside the penalty spot. He had plenty of time actually to pick his spot, but he launched it high over the crossbar. Boyle's been a threat on occasion. Johannes done some great stuff, done some bad stuff as well. Aberdeen haven't tested David Marshall, and it's been the long ball tactic that hasn't really paid off for them this season. When they've produced in matches this term, it's been because they've had the ball on the ground and they've used the midfield. They bypassed that for large spells of this game so far. But at half-time, and what could be a long night at the National Stadium in the first of the League Cup semis, it's Hibernian 0, Aberdeen 0.
Hibernian versus Aberdeen.
He's in, he scored!
The Scottish League Cup, live on Sports Sound from BBC Radio Scotland.
Join me, Mark Stephen, for the story of Nemo Arts.
I love the choir. I feel like I'm in Sister Act when I come out.
A creative charity based in Glasgow, focusing on improving mental health.
Theatre Nemo helped save my life.
I meet the people who preserve the paths, the nature and history of Aberdeenshire's most iconic hill.
If you give me £1, I'll make you a Bailey of Benihee for life. That's how it all started. He accosted people in the street.
And I'm in Kinussie as Badenoch Ladies Shinty Club train.
To now have clubs solely with just girls, it's great.
They thought we just couldn't do it, play shinty. But they came round.
That's the latest series of Our Story. Listen now on BBC Sounds.
You're listening to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland, bringing you full coverage of the first of the League Cup semi-finals from Hampden Park. Hibs 0, Aberdeen 0 at half-time. Looking at the match stats, 45% possession for Hibs, 5 shots to the Dons 3. Both sides have had 1 shot on target, and Hibs dominating the corner count, 6-1 on that. John Roberts, I think we've got to be honest here, it's been a pretty poor game. Certainly Aberdeen have been very poor. The odd moment of quality has come from Hibs. Joe Newell looks decent in the middle of the park, and you spoke there about your frustrations that you share with all Hibs fans watching LEU. And what would you make of that first half?
I think Hibs have had more composure. They look a more confident team. You can see what they're trying to achieve. They're trying to build from the back. They're trying to play through the midfield too, get it wide. Venti's trying to drop into little pockets, get turned. Boyle's trying to make runs over the show. So I can see what Hibs are trying to achieve. I can see what they've been working on in the training pitch. I'm looking at Aberdeen at the back, and I'm seeing the 3 central defenders and the goalkeeper making a couple of passes, and then the goalkeeper launching up the pitch to Miolski, and they're losing possession. I think Aberdeen's got some decent little players in the middle of the pitch. I'd like to see them build it from the back with more belief, with more speed, with more movement in front of them. That there's a sense of watching fear from Aberdeen at the back, which I hope the manager's got to address at half-time. They've got to believe in themselves. You don't come into a semi-final against Hibs and be fearful. You've got to believe you can go and outplay them, outfight them. But from Hibs' point of view, I'm happy with what I'm seeing. Again, I'd like to have seen us being one up, but there's been some good football. We've got into good positions, not worked the goalkeeper enough. That's the one failing. 1 shot on targets. We should be doing better than that.
Yeah, there's no doubt. John summed up very well there. Well, there is a real lack of belief in the Dons, and Liam said there the Dons fans turning up today in decent numbers. Again, you'd have to say, not sure whether they see the Kelly performance or the Mullall performance. It's certainly the former. What on earth do you put this down to? Because they've just looked, it's dreadful's too strong, but they just offered nothing in that first half.
Yeah, I mean, there's got to be some kind of structure to your game, and there's got to be an identity in what you're trying to achieve. And if you're just giving it to one of your centre backs, normally it's the right or the left, Gatherman or Jensen, and then they're just launching it forward. They have got to look for midfield players. They've got to try and build it up. I don't see the wing backs making themselves available either. If a centre back is on the ball, then you've got to have little bit of width. If the wing backs come back the park looking for it, then it gives the Hibs wide player something to think about, and then it maybe opens up the midfield. Listen, you've got 4 players in the midfield there. They should be able to get a bit of space, make themselves available and get on the ball. There's got to be better patterns of play coming from Aberdeen from the back, and not just the long ball forward, because it's very hopeful. They're a little bit better when they play it forward, because they're actually supporting it by getting the midfield up and the back 3 up as well. They didn't do that at Kilmarnock, but it's still not good enough. It's still on for them, I think, in the second half. If the manager sorts them out and gets them actually passing the ball from the back to the wing backs or through the midfield, then try to create and progress going forward, rather than just trying to go forward by playing 60 and 70 yard passes up to Majowski, who invariably is not going to win it. He's not going to win it in there. The best that you can hope for is the midfield getting up and winning the second ball. And so far, the tactics that Aberdeen have employed have just not worked. Have been the better team, no doubt about that. They've created the better opportunities, and Aberdeen a little bit fortunate still, not to be a goal down, because there have been a couple of good chances for Hibs, whereas Aberdeen really haven't created anything at all. So disappointing first half for the Dons. It's got to be better in the second half. I'm sure Nick Montgomery will be perfectly happy, a little bit disappointed that his team's not in the lead, but perfectly happy with the Hibs performance.
You would think so, John. The message from Nick Montgomery at half-time, I would imagine, would be just more of the same, but just be that bit sharper, that bit more quality in the final third.
Yeah, I think you've hit the nail on the head. Your final third, that little bit of composure when you get to the byline, the crosses. Can you pick out somebody in the box? When you get opportunity shot, can your shots be bottom corner around it in the keeper's hand or over the bar? But Hibs are playing with confidence, and that comes from the manager. So often you come to a semi-final and there is tension, maybe first 10 minutes, and Hibs weren't great first 10 minutes. Aberdeen were better, but as the game went on, Hibs Levitt started getting in possession of the ball, Newell started getting possession, and all of a sudden they're getting 5, 6, 7 passes consecutive, and that brings confidence. All of a sudden there's a ball over the top. Boyle's made good runs, so they're looking dangerous, Hibs, but the worry is they haven't got that goal. It's still 0-0, so for all their good play in the first half, they've got nothing really to show for it. But if they continue down the way they're playing, I'll expect them to get goals in the second half.
Well, thankfully we did see some goals in our 2 Premiership games that we brought you. The 3 o'clock kick-off, Motherwell losing at Kilmarnock. Motherwell in a really poor run of form. We kicked off at midday, the lunchtime kick-off, 12:30 start in Dingwall, and a convincing win for Celtic away at Ross County.
Sports Sound, Ross County versus Celtic.
Scales gathers, left hand side, pushes the ball through. There's a great little run from Taylor, touched away though. A late end of free kick. Brown was heavy on Yang. Well, they're going to check VAR to see if this is going to be upgraded. Red card is out.
Red.
10 minutes played in Dingwall. Ross County are down to 10. Turnbull tries to get the touches away from Danda. Low shot in! And David Turnbull does what he does so often against Ross County. He drills the ball low into the corner. Palmer 30 yards from goal. Ball on the inside. He's going to try for the shot! That'll seal it for Celtic. There's Palmer with a stunning 30-yard strike. Here's Palmer once again, driving to the byline, clips the ball back. Takers for Celtic, and it's easily put in by James Forrest. Ross County 0, Celtic 3.
Definite sending off. It then causes us a problem playing against a really good team with 10 men. But on a day like that, if we don't get our tactics right, if we don't get the discipline from the players and the organisation and the fitness from the players, that can end up 7 and 8.
I was really pleased. The guys coming in that haven't started the changes gave us a good energy at the beginning, and then we had the energisers coming off the bench to help us as well. So overall, really good performance. Scored 3 goals and could have had more, and kept the team sheet.
Kilmarnock versus Motherwell.
Lyons takes it in there, right foot cross to Dees on the left hand side, infield to Kennedy, who's moving back out towards the left hand touchline, gives it to Dees, who's on the touchline, pass low to the edge of the box, and Watkins, who gets a strike in straight at Kelly, spilled it. Watson with the rebound, it's saved again, pulls it back, and it's stroked into the back of the net by Innes Cameron. He capitalises on uncertainty in the Motherwell box, and Kilmarnock have the breakthrough, and you have to say it's probably just about deserved. Kilmarnock 1, Motherwell 0.
Lots of positives in terms of individuals. Positive clean sheet, positive bouncing back from a disappointment during the week, the result. And 3 wins out of 4 in this league is good shooting, so it's important that we try and keep that type of form going for as long as we can.
We know how difficult it is to come here, and we probably felt when we were level pegging at half-time that the game was roughly where we would like it to be, and hopefully we could offer a wee bit more quality in the second half, but it was the other side that ends up costing us.
Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland.
So Kilmarnock 1, Motherwell 0, Ross County 0, Celtic 3. Celtic now 8 points clear of Rangers at the top of the table, having played a game more. Ross County, it's very, very tight in the bottom half. They're in 10th spot with 10 points, but Hibs have got 11, Motherwell 11, Dundee 11, Livingston 10, Aberdeen 12 points. It's been a good day for Kilmarnock. They are up to 4th in the table on 16 points. Very, very good at home. The manager, Derek McKenzie, did acknowledge today that they will have to work on their away form. Tomorrow, of course, we have the second of the League Cup semi-finals, Hearts against Rangers. Willie, you were at Dens Park for us on Wednesday evening. You watched Rangers convincingly swat aside Dundee. I know Dundee were poor on the evening, but what have you made of Rangers under Philippe Clement? Because of course you witnessed that dreadful defeat, the last game in charge for Michael Beale, the humbling by Aberdeen at Ibrox.
There certainly seems to be more confidence, and more understanding perhaps in what they're trying to achieve. I was really impressed with Danilo, in midweek there against Dundee. I thought his movement and he's just his all-round play, Kenny, to be perfectly honest, coming off and setting things up, and also running in behind and always being a goal threat. So I think Rangers have been searching for a consistent performer in that area. They look confident at the back. I tell you, Balogun looked pretty decent as well at the back, didn't he? I thought he looked strong and he looked a threat going forward. A number of occasions he galloped into the midfield to help, try to set up attacks too. So him and Golson looked to be really strong there. Goalkeeper is a very good goalkeeper. There's no doubt in that. We all know that. But I think generally just playing with a bit more of a swagger, a bit more belief. We know that they're good players. Well, sometimes they don't look as though they're good players, and they have done that the first few games of the season. But I think that they're now playing with that belief. I think Clement has obviously got them believing in it. A bit more confidence, a bit more structure to what they're trying to do and what they're trying to achieve. And it was a very potent second half performance in particular against Dundee. So, tomorrow they'll be hoping that they can take that onto the field to play against Hearts and get themselves into a cup final, that's for sure. Yeah, certainly, John, been a mixed bag for Hearts of late. I watched their game come into the studio on Wednesday evening. They totally dominated. It was only 1-0 against Livingston, but my goodness, they totally dominated that game. Of course, it'll be very different for them tomorrow, very different style of game, different tactics required against Rangers.
Rangers are fully confident. Hearts, I'm not so sure, but they've got in Shankland, they've got a goal scorer, Hearts, so if they can get the ball in and around the box, he can score goals. Rangers are favourites. Obviously new managers come in, they're winning games, scoring goals, confidence is high, but Hearts, I would think it's one of those ones you've got nothing to lose. Coming to Hammond, last week they had 2-1, nearly got the victory at Ibrox, so I don't think they'll be going into the game with fear. I think the manager will be saying, look, we could have won it, and let's go to Hampden and put in a performance, play with no fear. That's the key. Going up against Celtic and Rangers, you go in the park, a lot of teams are beat before they start, and they go into that defensive mode, just trying to hang in there. No, go and try and put Rangers back 4 under pressure, go and try and squeeze them. If you set off them, average players can look very good players. Put them under pressure and see what, because all the pressure's on Rangers. Imagine if Hearts score early. Rangers fans, put a little bit of pressure on them. So I think if Hearts are to win, they've got to score the first goal.
All that to look forward to tomorrow. Stalemate at half-time in the first semi-final. Well, I just wonder, could this be the night? Could this be the occasion for Duke? He's currently sitting on the bench. What do you think?
You're winding me up again, aren't you?
I can hear that do coming out later. I think I can.
Yeah. I mean, I think so. If he can find his form, if he can find the form that he had last season, there's no doubt he's a real threat, a real potent striker. You know, his pace was frightening as far as defenders playing against him, and he was a goal scorer as well. So it could be that Polvara might play a part in this game as well, because he's been pretty decent this season as well. All will become apparent in the second half, Kenny.
Well, let's hope it's a bit better than the first 45 minutes. Let's get back to the National Stadium with John Collins, Willie Miller and Liam McLeod.
No changes for either team at the start of the second half by the looks of things. The players both out, ready to go just about. Hibs 3-time League Cup winners, 72-73, 91-92, 06-07. Eddie Turnbull's superb side beating Celtic 2-1. Stanton and O'Rourke as the Tornadoes added silverware to their brand of football. Celtic would exact revenge on them 2 years late in that 6-3 victory. Beating Dunfermline in 91 under Alec Miller and under John in 07. As Hibs get the second half underway at the National Stadium, goalless it is. Hibs in the green and white, shooting from left to right as we watch from up high in the main south stand here. Perfect unobstructed view of the pitch for us. Aberdeen all in red with gold flashes will shoot towards Mount Florida in this second half, where their fans are housed. Hibs towards theirs as Aberdeen pick up with McGrath on this near side, and he wins a throw-in as well. In fact, it's come off him last, says the linesman on the near side. Hibs with Marshall in goal, Miller, Fish, Bushiri, Obita, Tavares, Levitt, Newell, Johan, Boyle and Venta. For Aberdeen it's Roos, Gartenman, Rubicic and Jensen, Devlin and McKenzie, Barron and Shinnie, McGrath, Clarkson and Miovski. As Hibs come forward down the right, low ball across is beaten away at the near post. One of the defenders, I think Devlin got in the road of that, and it's away out for a Hibs corner by the looks of things right at the start of the second half here. Their 7th corner of the semi-final, and the second half begins as the first half ended.
Tremendous play from Hibs down this right hand side. Johan plays Miller into the byline, drills it across the 6-yard. Good defending from Aberdeen. I'd like to see a Hibs striker in there touching it. Good play from Hibs, good start, full of energy.
Corner's taken short by Newell to Tavares, back to Newell. Short to Levitt, to Newell again. It's a delicate ball in, it's headed wide by Venta though. Difficult one for him to get much purchase on. He's just able to glance it past the left-hand post. And it stays Hibs 0, Aberdeen 0. But Hibs beginning the brighter at the start of the second half.
Well, it's well worked, isn't it? The corner's well worked, a bit of purpose to it. And Newell curling that ball in for Venta. And, actually all he needs is if he gets that in target and drifts it towards the back post. The problem was it didn't get it in target. Not an easy one to get any power on, but if he gets that the direction right, then it can cause Aberdeen a problem or two.
Rubicic for Aberdeen, right in the edge of his own box, squares it to his right, where it's picked up by Conor Barron. Goes back to his keeper. No real obvious change or tweak from either manager at the start of the second half. You would think tweaks are more pressing for Barry Robson than they are for Nick Montgomery. Stands hands in pockets. Both managers doing that, in fact, as it's shifted out to Rubicic on this near side. Gives it away, straight to Levitt. Now with Johan, back to Dylan Levitt. Just over on this right-hand side. Shinnie stepping in, knocking it forward towards Miovski, having won it back off Johan. Hibs get it back though, Fish to Newell, and out to the left for Obita. Moving forward into Aberdeen territory, midway inside the Dons half. Back it comes to Newell, big switch of play, out towards Lewis Miller. Under no pressure, he controls and plays it short to Johan. Ball along the deck to Levitt, and then to Johan again. Aberdeen have barely touched the ball since the restart. Levitt into his own half for Fish, now with Bushiri. Bushiri shuffles away from Clarkson on the far side. Short ball to Tavares, back to Newell. Pirouettes away from Barron and finds Will Fish, who strides forward up towards halfway. It's a long ball. They're going to get Boyle in behind. He might find him here. The Aberdeen defence stops. Boyle controls and scores! Martin Boyle opens his scoring against his hometown team and celebrates in front of the Hibs fans on the near side. Woeful defending, atrocious in the back from Aberdeen, but Boyle was awake to it, controlled it beautifully and rolls the low finish past Keller Roos. It's been coming, going, and it's Hibernian 1, Aberdeen 0.
Tremendous football from Hibs, possession football, but possession with a purpose at the end. Comes to fish, steps forward, lovely little flighted ball over the back, 2-3 Aberdeen. Boyle takes it superb, it's a terrific little dink over the top. Boyle, first touch control, cool, calm, collected, pops it in the corner, only what Hibs deserve.
No, absolutely, and it has been coming. A dreadful start to the second half for Aberdeen, and just the worst defending that you could probably imagine. 3 centre-backs all in a row, 10 yards between them, that's outside ones, and you know, Boyle just sprints in between them. It's a magnificent pass from the centre-back, Fish, a little dink pass. Fantastic control as well. What a calm finish as well.
Well, they're checking for a possible offside.
Yeah.
Well, it looks so tight. It's so tight, but Jack McKenzie might have been playing him on. Yeah. Boyle is a little nervous weight here. He looked from the replay I saw as if he was on.
I thought he was off, but it could have been McKenzie. Certainly the 3 centre-backs was nowhere near him.
Well, that's unforgivable, isn't it? They've all stopped there waiting for a flag or some description. There's no excuse for stopping in this day and age of VAR. There's no excuse for stopping anyway, but especially now. Because if he's offside, it gets pulled back. It's such a difficult one. I think it's Devlin or McKenzie who might have been playing him on there. We're seeing a replay of it. It's a wonderful control and finish.
So tight, so tight. This is a whisker.
The longer the wait goes on, the more nervy the Hibs fans become. It's a fabulous finish. John Beaton is his right hand to his right ear, listening to the VAR, Greg Aitken. You do wonder the longer the wait goes on, Willie.
You do. You know, from my point of view, it could only be the wing backs that's playing him on, because the centre backs, Rubizic in particular, he was beyond Rubizic. So, you know, it's difficult for us to see, even in a replay. It's really difficult for us to see. But, dear me, what a time it's taken to decide. You know, put a line on the part and decide if he's offside or not.
It's not complicated. It's a line, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it is. Yeah,
it's black. It's yes or no.
I can't understand why it's taking them so long to make their mind up.
Must be the technology.
Martin Boyle has got a really good goal-scoring record against Aberdeen. The control and finish in front of a statuesque Aberdeen defence.
I'd love to know what they're saying in the VAR room.
Oh, we'd all love to know. We would all love to know. At least just to convey what the thought process is here. And why it's taking so long to come to the decision. Martin Boyle's angst-ridden down there. Has he given Hibs the lead in this semi-final? It's another chance for the guys to have a look at the replay there.
I think it can only be McKenzie that's playing him on.
Yeah.
Down this left-hand side. I'm not so sure about. I think that would be Garterman in the right.
Give the goal.
The 3 back.
Not that I'm biased.
You would say that, Johnny. Yeah.
He's behind Rubizic. You know, he's in offside position.
Oh, wait a minute here.
Rubizic is concerned.
John Beaton's moving back towards Kellaroos.
I think he is offside.
Oh my goodness.
Well, what a moment this could be. Aberdeen have got out of jail. It's offside. The goal does not stand. It stays Hibs 0, Aberdeen 0. Wow.
It should not take that long though.
Well, there's a roar from the Aberdeen supporters there. You can see the line that's been drawn. The guys can see it. And when you see that line, he is offside.
Yeah, it's a 2 wing backs that is interfering with the decision. It's not the 3 centre backs. Because he's shown a clean pair of heels to the 3 centre backs. But the 2 wing backs are back, and it's marginal, it's fractional, isn't it?
Well, what a let-off for Aberdeen. The Dons fans celebrated as if they'd scored, and they effectively have there. Here they come, Rubizic. It's Miovski. Right-hand side of the Hibs box, down he goes. No free kick, says the referee. And the Beta thumps it clear. It's going to be very difficult for the Hibs players at this moment, John, just to get their minds right, because their heads will be mangled after all that. Long ball forward, Miovski will chase, but it's right through to David Marshall. 53.5 have been played officially. Hibs 0, Aberdeen 0.
Hibs are in full control. They're passing the ball well. Everybody's wanting the ball. Lots of options. However, sometimes these situations stimulate the opposition.
I think that is probably the worrying thing from a Hibs point of view.
Here's a chance, McGrath to Miovski. He's inside the box. Rolls it wide left for McKenzie. Low ball back. Goes straight to Neil, who can clear. Picked up though by Jensen. Here's McGrath, wide left for McKenzie. Looks up, his cross is cut out. Quality's not been there for Aberdeen the final third all night. Up to press. McGrath to McKenzie. His cross is cut out by Miller. Then Jensen, there's a slash at it that goes all the way through to David Marshall. And time to actually take a touch there, Richard Jensen. 54 played, nothing each. Barry Robson is furious down there with the performance of his players. Seemingly, that's what it appears to be anyway. And in particular for Richard Jensen there, who just hopelessly gave it straight back to David Marshall. What a let-off that is for Aberdeen, Willie. It's huge for them.
It's huge because, you know, the three centre-backs are nowhere to be seen. And the two wing-backs are you know, almost playing Martin Boyle on it. Listen, it was well worked. You know, John says good build-up.
There's a chance for Hibs. Newell driving forward up to the edge of the box. He's found Venta, takes a good touch. Forced away from goal though, wide right for Eli Johan, low ball across, Venta with a little flick and then off Rubičić. Roos prevents the corner, he goes in on Venta, who goes down claiming penalty. Goal kick's been given. It was Keller Roos who'd have been as well conceding the corner rather than potentially giving away a penalty. Now they'll obviously have a look back at this, and the guys are getting a look at the replay of it now.
The goalie spills it.
Yep.
Has he got? I don't know if he's got any of the ball, Roos.
He hasn't got any of the ball. I tell you what.
Oh, he's lucky there.
If he gets away with it, which it seems to be.
Might have got slightest touch.
Yeah, I think
he must have done.
It would have been a soft penalty. I've seen them given though.
You have.
Another possible let-off for Aberdeen there then. And the need for Keller Roos. Hasn't looked the same keeper this season. Aberdeen goalkeeper, just 3 clean sheets in his 17 games coming into this. Long ball forward, won by Obita against Miovski. Jensen heads forward, and controlled in the chest by McGrath. Barron does well, finds Clarkson, edge of the box, he shoots, block, breaks back to Barron, his shot blocked by his own man Miovski, who was in an offside position, flags up. It would have been interesting to see where that Connor Barron effort was going. 56 in, 0-0.
So John, I'm taking it that VAR has looked at that situation there, where it's going into Vente, and deciding that there was nothing to look at all. I would have thought that he would have asked the referee to have a look at that.
Yeah.
You know, because he spilt it, Vente's come in, he's then, has he got the ball, has he not got the ball? He's certainly got the man.
You would have thought they would have asked the referee to have a look.
I would have thought so.
Yeah.
First of the League Cup semi-finals, 0-0. It's certainly picked up drama-wise since the break. Martin Boyle thought he'd given Hibs the lead. Ruled out for offside after a lengthy VAR review. There's another replay, incidentally, for the guys to look at. Keller Roos and Dylan Vente, the two Dutchmen. Does Roos get the slightest touch onto it? It's back with the Aberdeen keeper here, he swings it forward. McGrath gets a really good touch for Clarkson. Devlin on the right, but he's taking the wrong decision again. Looking for Miovski with the long ball. Devlin was in a fantastic position wide in the right in the overlap. Hibs have it back with Johan, and Tavares is away. Tavares in behind, left-hand side, attacking the penalty area now. Jar Tavares, good step over, left foot, saved by Roos. As he shoots, Clarkson gets it away. And Shinnie picks it up in the midfield, just trying to calm everything down, but he loses it as well. And the little back heel from Miller finds Levitt. It's opened up for Dylan Levitt. Lovely little ball looking for Boyle, who dives towards it, but it was behind for the goal kick. And stays Hibs 0, Aberdeen 0. And that all came from yet another Leighton Clarkson unforced error.
Again, tremendous play from Hibs, good football. Johan playing Tavares through a lovely little scissors move, strikes it on target. Hibs are playing some really good football.
I tell you what, Willie, Barry Robson will have to change something at some point in the very near future, or this semi-final could very quickly get away from them.
Well, he's fortunate that it's not away from him already, or at least that Aberdeen are not a goal, perhaps 2 down. It hasn't been a good performance. They're looking shaky second half. They're looking really shaky. The only thing that seems to be keeping them going is the fact that they're still in the game. You know, they've created virtually nothing, but sometimes games of football go that way, you know, and it's written in the stars that you're going to get pummeled, and you're going to then, you know, break forward and perhaps get the breakthrough goal that probably you don't deserve. But it hasn't been a good performance, and the second half has been very concerning for Barry Robson. I'm sure a lot's gone through his mind just now.
Jensen On the near side, I'll go through the respective benches for you. Next in, the ball's out of play, and another unforced error from Aberdeen puts it out. They've been woeful tonight. The Hibs bench: Wallacott's a sub-goalie, Hanlon, Stevenson, Doidge, Del Ferrayer, Campbell, Molotnikov, Whittaker and Landers, the three youngsters making up the bench. For Aberdeen, Doohan is the sub-goalie, Duke, Gay, Hayes, Sockler, Polvara, Duncan, McDonald and Milne. He does have options to shake the team up. Barry Robson, try and shake some life into them. There's so much on the line here tonight, and Hibs just look like they want it more. The final, potential Edinburgh Derby final as well. For that to happen though, Hibs obviously need to win this one, and Hearts will have to beat Rangers for the first time in their history at Hampden Park. Their Scottish Cup win in '98, of course, came across the city at Celtic Park. Hibs have it with Levitt, rolling it out on this near side from inside the D of his own box, given away by Fish, but given straight back to Hibs by Rubidic. Johan, right of the centre circle, finds Newell, back to Levitt, scoops it high up to that left-hand side. Jordan Obita controls under no pressure as we tick towards the hour mark at Hampden. 0-0, short to Boyle, flicks the ball back the way to Newell. Infield it comes to Johan. Johan switches the play, out to the right for Miller. Vented Tavares, Boyle waiting in the middle. And it's Lewis Miller. Runs into Mackenzie, then brings him down, pulled the jersey. That'll be a yellow card, and it will be a Hibs free kick level with the Aberdeen penalty spot. They are all at sea, the men in red, and Hibs looking to finally make the breakthrough with a free kick in a very promising position.
Yeah, losing their composure as well. Jack Mackenzie on that occasion, you know, getting tight, not winning the ball, and then resorting, as Miller gets the better of him, resorting to pulling his jersey. There's no doubt that it's a yellow card, but Aberdeen really struggling. You know, it's basically a back five that they're playing with just now. They've got no control of the game or the ball. They don't have the ball. Whenever they get the ball, they constantly give it away to Hibs, and Hibs, you know, certainly in control of this game in the ascendancy, and they've got a free kick here that could be really dangerous.
It's one of their best performances of the season, Hibs, I would suggest. They were good in part against Celtic. It just wasn't a great game of football at Easter Road last Saturday. It was a great point for Hibs in the end up. There's a chance for them though. Newell will take the free kick, bangs it in, comes off Johan, might be able to keep it alive. No, he's lost it, and Clarkson dinks it clear. Barron will try and get it under control on the near side. Under pressure, turns it infield to McGrath. Little cushion header to Clarkson, forward to Shinnie, back to Clarkson. Good slide to win it back by Will Fish. Now Ellie Johan down the right, driving forward, level with the 6-yard line, puts it into a good position along the 6-yard line, missed by everyone and cleared by Gartenman. Rocky Bushiri picks up over on the far side, under pressure from Mijovski, can't keep it in play, and Aberdeen have a throw-in. It is goalless here at Hampden, 0-0, almost on 62. Hibs by far the better team, but they haven't been able to make the breakthrough. How much regret will go through Nick Montgomery and Martin Boyle's head if they end up losing this semi tonight?
It's another ball across the face of the Aberdeen goal, isn't it? And unfortunately, from a Hibs point of view, they don't have anyone there to take advantage of it, because there's certainly uncertainty there in the Aberdeen defence, as well as Johan went down that right hand side and quite comfortably put the ball across the face of the Aberdeen goal. So testing times for the Dons, but very fortunate that Hibs don't seem to have the right man in the right place so far to take advantage of their pressure.
Dear me, it's another woeful pass forward by an Aberdeen player. Barron this time puts it straight behind for a goal kick. I'm seeing Barry Robson down there, the Aberdeen manager. He is exactly the kind of player they're missing tonight. Nobody seemingly is taking responsibility for Aberdeen.
He's got to think, should he change his system? Should he change personnel? Because Hibs are dominating the game.
Long ball by Marshall, flicked on by Obita. Tavares is onto it. Left hand side, they're winning all the second balls and they're winning all the little flicks as well. Tavares runs into Gartenman, and the touch comes off the Aberdeen defender and out for a Hibs throw level with the Aberdeen penalty spot. Over on that north stand side, Hibs attacking the goal to the right in the second half. 63 played. Remember, extra time and penalties should they be required. And it is Jordan Obita over on the far side to take this long throw. And Will Fish has come forward for it. He fancies getting in the end of this. He's just to the left of the 6-yard box. Obita bowls it in. Rubidic underneath it, heads clear. Shinnie under pressure, loses out to Newell. Now it's with Obita. Hibs are hungry here. Onto the left, Avita swings the cross in, helped on its way by Venta. Barron can't really get it clear. Here's Johan, right-hand side, rolls it to Boyle. He'll attack the Aberdeen defence here, drops the shoulder, right-hand side. His cross is cut out. And then Barron goes in and Boyle, but the free kick goes Aberdeen's way. Had to get the ball there, doesn't get the ball. Boyle gets the ball first, it's a penalty.
Yeah, but you know, two of them are contesting it there. I think the referee got it right. You do take a chance when you go into a challenge like that, as Martin Boyle did with Conor Barron, but I do feel that he had the infringement against him. Barron was stooping to get the header as well, so the referee got it right. But again, it's another advance from Hibs, isn't it? I think Polvara looks as though perhaps he might come on. I'm not too sure who they'll take off, but they could pick any one of the 4 midfield players that are out there. I don't think McGrath would be the one, but maybe Clarkson, maybe even Shinnie. Shinnie's looking a little bit tired.
Tavares finds Johan. We'll get details of the change in a moment. Here's Ellie Johan driving towards the Aberdeen box. Rifles it across, a good ball, it's deflected and it's wide! How's that stayed out? It stays nothing, each Hibs claiming handball, but Nicky Devlin has just denied Dylan Venta the opening goal. 65 played, Hibs 0, Aberdeen 0. It is surely only a matter of time for Hibs here.
They just keep knocking on the door, it's got to come soon. Good football again, getting to the byline, tremendous cutback. Looks like it's in the back of the net from here. Oh, deflected off his chest, over the bar. Terrific ball from Johan.
Let's get to Kerdy Nidsan pitch side.
Well, as the Aberdeen goal continues to live a charmed existence, that substitution is happening now with Dante Polvara coming on in place of Conor Barron.
We'll get Willie's thoughts on the change in a moment. Hibs have a corner though after that Devlin block. Polvara for Barron. Hibs corner, Joe Newell over it. In swinger with the left foot in front of the Hibs fans in the south stand off to our right. And it comes towards the back end of the 6-yard box, headed away by Rubizic. His clearance is dreadful, breaks to Boyle, who shoots high over the crossbar. And that would be a goal kick to Aberdeen. It will stay 0-0 on 66 minutes. That corner coming in from the corner quadrant, corner flag area, from where one of the, if not the most famous corners in Hibs history was taken. He won the Scottish Cup in 2016.
Yeah, just a change. As I said, you know, I think Barry Robson could have taken any one of his midfield players off, probably not McGrath, so you know, he's decided to keep Shinnie the captain on and Clarkson on. You know, I think Barron can count himself a little bit unfortunate, but you know, the change had to be made. I think that they've lost control of this game completely, Aberdeen, in the second half. They weren't very good in the first half, but certainly the second half, complete domination from the players in the green and white, and change had to come, and he'll be hoping that Polvara will show a little bit more strength, a little bit more composure, if of course he can get you know, any passes into that midfield area, because so far the Dons really haven't built it up in that area.
Shinnie winning a free kick, taking it too quickly for John Beaton's liking, and at least Dylan Venta was in the way when Shinnie tried to make an example of the fact that he was too close to him. Heading towards the final quarter of the 90 minutes here, as it stands, extra time.
The only thing positive here for Aberdeen is the result. Everything else is so negative, but you know what, football, sometimes it can be very, very cruel.
It looks as though it's going that way, doesn't it? As far as Hibs are concerned.
You can't be good, be lucky.
Exactly.
And Aberdeen have been fortunate at times. It's a great block by Nicky Devlin just a couple of minutes ago, but could so easily have been Hibs 1-0 up, and the lengthy wait for Martin Boyle's goal, which was chopped off for offside. So that's moved out to Devlin on that right flank for Aberdeen. Infield to Shinnie. Will the change have the desired effect for Barry Robson? Clarkson has it just to the right of the centre circle in his own half. Out to the far side for Garteman, who goes all the way back to his keeper. Aberdeen have produced some decent performances this campaign, and Motherwell during the week, at Ibrox, in Frankfurt, against Pauk, despite the late capitulation. There's been a lot of dross, for want of a better word, in their season as well. Hibs haven't exactly hit their straps yet either. Both these teams are capable of much better across their seasons, and this has been better from Hibs today, as the man who scored from that famous corner, has a word with the manager Nick Montgomery down below us. David Gray, or Sir David Gray as he's known in Leith, John.
Yeah, he's a legend down Leith, that's for sure. He always will be. This is the best I've seen Hibs play for a long, long time.
Absolutely, couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Well, they've given away a throw-in midway inside their own half on the far side, and here comes the long throw tactic, one of Willie's favourites. Garteman's going to bowl it in. I don't think he's found a teammate this season with one of these long throws, is he?
No, but you know, there's always a first there, Liam. I think that's what we'll be hoping for.
It's a bit level with the edge of the D, actually. By the time he releases it, level with 18, in it comes. Rubičić tries to get onto it. I think Bushiri managed to get something onto it. McGrath shoots tamely at Marshall, who holds on comfortably. It's Aberdeen's first shot on target in the 70th minute. 0-0 it remains. Long ball forward. Marshall gives it straight back to Aberdeen with Jensen, who finds Shinnie in the midfield. Out wide left for McKenzie. Shinnie looking to give him a hand here down this near side. Uses him as the decoy and finds McGrath. McGrath pokes it back to McKenzie. It's well worked. Miovski's in the middle. McKenzie's low ball is easily cleared by Fish. And out for a throw-in on the near side. John, how do you think Hibs have reacted to the disappointment of that goal being chalked off?
I think they've reacted superbly well.
Yeah.
They've kept their composure, haven't got flustered. They've kept their shape in possession. They're good out of possession. They're nice and compact, making it difficult for Aberdeen to play through them.
20 of the 90 to play. Business end of the game. That's Rubičić this time, who plays it straight into touch under zero pressure whatsoever.
Yeah, you know, another occasion where Aberdeen not under that much pressure. Rubičić, it's on his left side. He's just got to play it into a space, isn't he? You know, if he's not confident or comfortable, you know, trying to play the short pass, but he just passes it out the park, and he gives away, you know, any initiative that Aberdeen had in that occasion. They've had a little few minutes here where they've actually been in the Hibs half, not nearly enough to turn this game around, but at least it gives their fans down this side of them, you know, the fans down this side of the pitch, which is the side that Hibs are defending, haven't seen them.
Shocking booking from the referee.
Is that a Beta being booked, John?
Yeah. It was a free kick. He got pushed. It'll be interesting to see it in slow motion. He was annoyed with the referee for not giving him the free kick.
Beta's going to be yellow carded, and that means he joins Tavares.
Stupid booking. Now he's got to be very careful. One mistimed tackle, you're off the pitch.
It's one thing you can accuse these teams of this season. There's been a little soft centre there. Hibs produced that against Ross County the other night. Aberdeen have done it a few times this season as well. Pauk, the most recent example of it. And they were 2-0 up. U2 surrendered a 2-goal cushion. McKenzie takes a throw in on the near side, back to Jensen now with Clarkson. Clarkson looks up, long ball forward, looking for Miovski, doesn't get onto it. McGrath chases, Bushiri clears. The referee blows his whistle, and Hibs have a free kick at the edge of their box. Miovski's asking what it's for.
Yeah, you know, I think he went up for it pretty fairly, and he's every right to question the referee, but it has been given. You know, I think Aberdeen will be pleased to get a little bit of respite, you know, because they've been under the cosh for just about all of this second half. In the last few minutes, they've managed to get themselves into the Hibs half, not really doing an awful lot. The one strike and target, obviously, would give them a little bit of a hope, but you know, I think Barry Robson will be hoping that, you know, the change that he's made will bear fruit as this game goes on. You know, a little bit better from Aberdeen, but certainly not good enough.
Another long ball for Miovski. Bushiri's the covering player. Miovski gets a touch onto it, gives it straight to Abita, picks it out for an Aberdeen throw-in over on the far side. 72 and a half played. Hibs 0, Aberdeen 0.
It's been a better 5 minutes for Aberdeen.
Yeah.
They managed to get in Hibs half, make a few passes.
And there's going to be an Aberdeen free kick straight from that throw-in. Garteman's been brought crashing to the ground by Tavares. This is a free kick to Aberdeen about midway inside the Hibs half. Aberdeen's best hope right now, Willie, probably is to make this game as scrappy as possible and stop Hibs in their tracks that way.
Yeah, well, they haven't shown any signs that they can string too many passes together. There certainly isn't any pattern that we can you know, see that happening. It's more or less the way they've got themselves into the Hibs half is just by playing the ball long and backing it up.
Clarkson's free kick comes in and it's headed away comfortably by Venta. McKenzie picks up the scraps, goes all the way back to his keeper. Plenty of time at the edge of his box here. Roos will be another one of his long balls, looks that way. He's moved it out to Mackenzie on the near side though. Mackenzie controls under pressure from Miller, moves it back to Jensen.
That's rather stupid.
What's Mackenzie done there?
Yeah, he's going to get booked for that, and it might be.
It is second.
That's stupid.
Second yellow for Jack Mackenzie, who's ordered off. What on earth was going through his head there? He's shaking his head, but the ball had gone, and Aberdeen are down to 10, and Jack Mackenzie might have just sold his team's chances of making the League Cup final with that moment of utter madness.
It is. You know, I'm watching the incident, and you know, Lewis Miller is pretty strong in the challenge with Mackenzie, but it's not a free kick. He's just strong in the challenge, and then there's a wee push from Miller, and then Mackenzie.
What is he doing? Honestly,
just reacts and pushes.
He's a little kick at him as well.
At the back.
Childish is the word.
Stupidity.
Boy, what's he thinking? He's already booked.
He's not that young. That's the thing. He's 23.
Jeez, oh.
Semi-final. Aberdeen had Anthony Stewart sent off for a ridiculous challenge in last season's semi against Rangers. They lost in extra time. I mean, performed pretty well in the day. Performed a heck of a lot better than what has been served up by them tonight. An advantage, Hibs, big time. They were already on top. Now they have a man advantage.
No, there's a little push from Miller as well, but nothing major. And then Mackenzie just reacts to it and runs after him and pushes him to the ground from behind as well. The referee's got no option but to book him.
Yeah. And Hibs now will try and get the job done in 90 minutes. Aberdeen's best chance might now be penalties. Can they survive that long? 15 of the 90 left, plus injury time, plus extra time to get there. If you thought they were struggling beforehand, Hibs now with the momentum and the man advantage. They just need the goal. And that will be the formula they'll be looking for between now and 90. Here's Newell towards the Aberdeen box, flights the ball in, headed clear by Polvara. Clarkson takes it down and fires it forward, and it's going straight to Fish. Knocks it out to this near side for Lewis Miller. Blocked by McGrath and out for a Hibs throw-in. 76 played, nothing each.
I think it's what Hibs do now, isn't it? I mean, you know what Aberdeen are going to do. They're going to bring everyone back, and they're going to try to just buy time, you know, to get it to the full-time whistle, and then probably do the same into the time added on. And it's about what Hibs are prepared to do.
Hibs have got to make sure they keep the tempo up. The passing's got to be quick.
Yeah, Johan's cross ball. Polvara puts it behind for the corner. Hibs, their latest corner, edging towards double figures in that total.
It's a matter of time.
Yeah, they've got to keep Aberdeen moving, Aberdeen thinking, try to wear them down as well, John, even if it does go into extra time.
You're all tired. You've got to move the ball quick. You move the ball quick means they have to move quick as well.
Edge of the penalty area, Levitt shot blocked by the head of Rubidzic on the 6-yard line. Now it's with Obita. Rolls it out onto the touchline for Johan, level with 18. Low ball in field's poor, straight to Shinnie. Shinnie now will drive forward. He's had it pinched off him by Miller, who goes down. Aberdeen play on. Polvara through for Miovski, who might be in here. Left hand side of the box, Boya Miovski, left footed, scores! It's absolutely stunning! The 10 men lead the semi! 13 to play of the 90! And Bojan Miovski scores his 10th goal of the season! And it could be utterly priceless! Just 2 or 3 minutes after Mackenzie's ordering off, Aberdeen lead on Glasgow Southside in the first of the semis. Hibs 0, Aberdeen 1.
What a gem that is, isn't it, from an Aberdeen point of view? You know, under pressure again, poor pass in. Chinny picks it up, drives forward, you know, just works out the challenge as well, brushes it aside. The pass in, I think it's Polvara to Miovski, and then he keeps his composure, so calm in the left foot, and just gets his head over it and drills it into the far corner. What a turnaround. Quite amazing, quite astonishing turnaround from an Aberdeen point of view. How they've managed to get themselves in the lead. But as we said before, John, football can be a cruel game.
It's a superb counter-attack. Sloppy pass at the top of the pitch from Johan. So a simple 10-yard pass to a player in front of him. Aberdeen anticipate it, break well, and it's a terrific finish. Bottom corner.
Yeah, Marshall's not getting there, is he? Barely a celebration from Barry Robson down on the touchline when that hit the net. Low finish into the bottom right corner from the left foot of Miovski. Hibs are going to make changes. We'll get to Carradine in a moment. Hibs in possession with Bashiri. Now Aberdeen have something to hold on to. Big questions been asked of Hibs. Can they turn this around? They've been the better team, and Johansson immediately. Oh, what a really important last-ditch challenge by Jensen on the stretch there. He's hurt himself in the process just as Ellie Johan was pulling the trigger.
That's a great sliding tackle from Jensen, isn't it? He spots the danger. He's maybe caught out a little bit initially, but the challenge is superb. He just gets that left foot stuck out. Gets it. Looks as though he gets the ball, plenty of the ball, to put it out for the corner.
He's struggling though. I'm not sure if his Achilles has been tweaked as he was at full stretch there to redeem himself and retrieve the situation. Double change coming up, Carradine for Hibs.
The veteran Doidge is coming on, and the 16-year-old Rory Whittaker as well, trying to salvage this cup semi-final for Hibs.
Corner. Meantime, they're going to wait for this corner first, our Hibs. Into the 6-yard areas, flicked only half clear. Boyle picks up an 18-yard line left of the D, shuffles onto the right. His little dink ball's cut out, it breaks off an Aberdeen player as Tavares knocked it forward. It came off Devlin. They're claiming handball just inside the box. The final 10 of the 90. Miller upended on the far side. Hibs free kick just beyond the midway point of the Aberdeen half, and a few yards from that north stand side touchline over there. The Hibs fans must have thought, having been so far on top and seen Jack McKenzie sent off, that this semi-final was in the palm of their hand. Now they're just desperately trying to find a way back onto terms as they make the changes, and Lewis Miller is going to come off to be replaced by Christian Doidge. That's a sign of intent, and Tavares is replaced by young Whittaker. John Collins.
Doidge will come in, he'll give them a presence in the box now. Last 10 minutes, I imagine they'll be getting crosses in. Hibs have got to stay calm, keep the ball moving quick. They will create another one chance, I have no doubt about it, but it's important they don't keep throwing things in. It's got to be good deliveries.
Boyle with it, and that is a good delivery. It's Polvara, I think, got his head to it there. Comes out to this near side, and in fact Polvara there winning the goal kick. He knocks it off Whittaker, who's just on. It was Miovski who got the initial touch when the corner came in, the free kick came in from an Aberdeen point of view, and he's hurt himself. He's on the deck. Rubičić trying to help his fellow Balkan out. 9 of the 90 to play. Hibs 0, Aberdeen 1. The 10 men of Aberdeen in front, and the Dons fans off to our left, Willie, can barely believe what they're seeing here.
I don't think anybody in the stadium can believe what they've just witnessed, to be perfectly honest, because the second half totally dominated by Hibs, and yet Aberdeen having the man sent off and almost immediately breaking the deadlock. It's quite incredible. Hibs having chance after chance after chance, not being able to take it. The Dons have one chance and actually take it.
How often do you see that? Miss after miss after miss. The opposition got the pitch, one chance, one goal back. Happens so often in football.
But that's the value of Bojan Miovski to Aberdeen. This Aberdeen team, 10 goals for the season. He's 8 shy of last season's total. We're just into November. He has been different class for them, and what's been a at times troubling season. Rubičić goes back to his goalkeeper. There is still time for Hibs. 8 of the 90 to play. Remember, the long VAR check for Martin Boyle's goal will be bolted on to the end of the game as well, so expect there to be a fairly substantial stoppage time period as McGrath knocks it through for Miovski. Attacking the box again, he gets the break of the ball, he's in again, and this time I'm not sure what he's done. He's tried to dink it towards goal and he's put it about 10 yards wide. What on earth was that?
Another huge chance for Miovski.
What is he doing?
I don't know. I think he's trying to dink it over the goalkeeper. It's not like him.
Surely he does what he's already done.
Yeah, but he's trying to dink it over the goalkeeper, isn't he? Instead of just putting the instep on it.
It was a kissy death from you.
Well, that's... I know. Well, there you go. That is proof of the curse on Miovski this time. But he puts that in. That's Aberdeen into the final. How important will that prove to be come the end of this? Johan's away from Shinnie meantime. Forward to Doidge. Johan trying to get back onto it. Clarkson gets there though. Finds Miovski. Miovski looking for an option, looking for a runner. Shinnie gives him that option. Whittaker slides in and it goes out for an Aberdeen throw in on the near side. That was a chance to kill the game.
It was, yeah. And I think even just putting the laces through it, Liam, just trying to strike it with the left foot, trying to hit the target, but he doesn't. He definitely tries to just dink it over Marshall. and going. I don't even know if it was on for that to happen. It might be through again.
Yeah. Oh, Fisher's made a mess of it. Miovski's in once more. He goes down. John Bean's having a long lingering look at it and books Miovski for diving. Willie agrees with the decision. Miovski at the left angle of the 6-yard box goes down under the challenge of Fish, who completely misjudged the long ball, and it stays Hibs 0, 10-man Aberdeen 1.
Well, we'll get a wee replay of it, but it looked as though Miovski's just thrown both his legs up. There's a little bit of contact there, but I don't think there's enough. John?
I'm not so sure.
You're not so sure?
Yeah,
it's a dive.
Yeah, it's a dive.
Correct decision.
Correct decision. Well done, referee.
I've not lost my touch.
Yeah, very good. The best official of them all, as Bushiri rolls it out to the left-hand side for Abita. Just over 5:90 left. Hibs trying to force extra time. They take that now against the 10 men. Boyle's gone down off the ball. This could be another blow for Hibs. As Boyle's race run, there's something tweaked over there. He's going to have to get some attention. There's Martin Boyle, who thought he'd given Hibs the lead early in the second half, only for it to be ruled out for offside after a good few minutes of a VAR check.
Must be a bad one, otherwise he wouldn't be down.
He's not got the shin pads off yet.
He's felt something, I think.
Yeah.
Calf.
He's chatting to Dylan Levitt. Yeah, they're going to have to make the change. So if Hibs are going to turn this round, they're going to have to do it without their talisman, Martin Boyle. 85 on the clock, and this will add more time on to the stoppages as well. Clearly, Aberdeen will try and get this done in as minimal time as possible, because they do not want to be going into extra time a man down. Miovski out here talking to Steve Agnew, the Aberdeen assistant, as Hibs get attention to Martin Boyle, but they're going to be forced into the change. We'll maybe get to Cerdine just to talk us through those. KD, if he's there. There he is. Sorry, we couldn't hear you, Cerdine. Start again.
I shall start again, Liam. Yes, it's going to be another 16-year-old, because Josh Landers is coming on, as is Josh Campbell. So a double sub as Hibs throw the kitchen sink at Aberdeen in these last couple of minutes to try and stay in this cup.
Well, there you go. The other change looks as though it's Venta who's going to come off. Landers, 16-year-old striker, comes on. What pressure, John, to put on the young man. Josh Campbell coming on as well. He's got a really good record against Aberdeen. Scored a hat-trick against them in the game that did for Jim Goodwin.
It's a great opportunity for the young man to stamp his name into the Hibs fans' minds.
Closing stages of the 90 minutes here at Hampden in the first of the League Cup semis. 10-man Aberdeen with a lead, 1-0 here on Sportsound, BBC Radio Scotland. Here come Hibernian. Campbell sliding it out wide left for Abita, level with the 18-yard line, up against Devlin. Rolls it back to Levitt. Levitt bends the ball in, but it's too close to Kellaroos, who holds on. As we approach 87, Hibs 0, Aberdeen 1.
I think you would take that all day if you're Aberdeen, you know, and you know how difficult it is when you play these little functions in training as well, when you give the opposition the extra man, or maybe even extra 2 men as well, and the team that's down can hold out, and you know, Aberdeen just getting into that shape, just making it really difficult for Hibs. And when Levitt puts that ball into the box, right on top of the goalkeeper, then that's just exactly what you want, and it takes all the pressure off.
And Graham Shinney trying to get back at Ellie Johan here. McGrath comes across. The yellow card's going to come out here for Graham Shinney. He had a couple of bites at Johan, who pinched it off him in the midfield. Hibs have a free kick just to the right of the centre circle, about level with the edge of it on the near side.
His manager would be delighted at that free kick, because if he never held on him, Johan was away, attacking the back four, so not a bad foul to give away.
Clock ticking down. Young Josh Landers on for his Hibs debut. 1-0 down in a National Cup semi-final with just a few minutes of the 90 left. What can he do? Joe Newell, meantime, over the free kick. Throng of players around the Aberdeen 18-yard line. Joe Newell with his arms in the air, preparing to distribute this free kick. He's taken it low out to this near side touchline for Johan. First time back into Newell. Newell's cross is blocked by Clarkson though. Now it's Abita. It's going to come back from Levitt to Newell on the right of the centre circle again. Newell short to Dylan Levitt. Levitt looking for an option in green and white. Aberdeen trying to stand firm in defence. 5 across the box they have. Whittaker Out wide right for Johan, level with the penalty spot, back to Levitt, desperately trying to find a way through here, Hibs. Campbell has it, his cross, cut out by Polvara. Polvara giving chase. Levitt gets there first and knocks it back into his own half for Abita. Heading towards the 90th minute. Hibs 0, 10-man Aberdeen 1. Newell with the ball into the penalty area. Deutsch rises really well, and his header goes wide at the right-hand post. Goal kick Aberdeen. He's got such a good jump on him as Christian Deutsch. He scored against Aberdeen at Pittodrie in the league meeting this season in the 2-0 win. And he can't find the target. Fabulous leap from Deutsch.
He's got terrific leap, terrific timing in the air. Gets up really well. Good header, but it's just past the post. I'd like to see Hibs trying to get wider, get to the byline rather than throwing it in from 30 yards out. Much easier for defenders, that type of ball.
It is, but that, you know, it's a decent header, isn't it? It's not far away from, you know, landing in the back of the net either. Great crossfield pass from Newell as well with that left foot.
Whittaker just gets away from Polvara. The edge of his own box to the left of Bita. It's a long ball. Rubicic is underneath it. Heads it down low to Garton when he'll go long looking for Miovski. He's chasing it. Abita's the covering player for Hibs. Miovski trying to put the pressure on against Abita. He trips Abita. Free kick. Miovski was booked for the dive earlier. Abita takes the quick free kick back into his box. We played the 90 minutes. The stoppage time will be 7 minutes. Hibs have 7 minutes to stay in the League Cup. There won't be many of a Hibs persuasion sleeping tonight if they don't force extra time here, John Collins.
Well, it's been such a wonderful performance from start to finish from Hibs. They do not deserve to lose this game.
Abita has it down by the corner flag on the left, swings a really good ball in, flicked away by Rubicic. Kept alive by Johan, back to goal, outside the box, rolls it back to Newell. Looking to work a 1-2 with Deutsch, he tries to give it to Campbell, and it's cleared by Clarkson, out for a throw-in on the far side for Hibs on the halfway line.
Yeah, it's just a case for Aberdeen trying to just slow things down. I think it's Miovski, perhaps it's down.
Yeah, you know, they're going to change it. They're going to have to make the change.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that just breaks up the momentum, you know, and it's not something you like to see. He's going to have to make the change. I don't know where he took the knock. Maybe he's just kind of ran out of steam because of the amount of work that he's done. But it does break the momentum up that Hibs have at this moment in time.
Let's go to Cerdine for the Aberdeen change in stoppage time.
Yep, Esther Sockler coming on to see if he can help the Dons see out this match with 10 men.
Bojan Miovski is the difference. He should have scored another one. Aberdeen should be 2 to the good here in the closing stages. And he's limping off. They'll hope that that is not too serious. They've got a couple of really difficult games coming up. Thursday night, PAOK in the Europa Conference League, match day 4. They feel they're already out, but if they win that one against the odds in the Toomba Stadium, then who knows. Then they go to Celtic Park before the international break. So this one's the biggie though for both these clubs. Doesn't matter, they want to finish as high up the league as possible, but when you are one of the clubs outside Celtic in particular and Rangers, this is where the glory is to be found. And Aberdeen are just minutes away from a place, an unlikely place in the final. It's Will Fish for Hibs. Aberdeen change has been made. Sockler on for Miovski. 2 minutes of the 7 that have been added have been played. There'll be more for that sub though. Newell bends the ball into the Aberdeen box. Rubicic clears. Now it goes for a Hibs throw-in on this near side. There is still time for Hibs. And if they score and force extra time, they suddenly become favourites again.
Well, absolutely, with Aberdeen being down to the 10 men as well, you know, and having put in, you know, such a difficult shift, you know, this evening. If they do get that strike that manages
Here's
to get an equaliser.
Levitt at the edge of the Aberdeen box, sits down, Polvara dinks the ball in, but it's a comfortable take for Roos in the 6-yard box. He holds on. Hibs 0, 10-man Aberdeen 1. The seconds ticking away from the high bees here. 3 of the 7 minutes that were added on have been played, and the ball's in the gloves of the Aberdeen keeper. If he keeps a clean sheet, Aberdeen will be back here to face Hearts or Rangers in the final on December the 17th. Hibs desperate to force extra time. Long ball from Roos goes out for a Hibs throw-in over on the far side, level with the edge of the D of their own box.
Is there enough energy? Is it enough enthusiasm from Hibs? I know you've got to keep a bit of calmness about it as well. But I think you've got to try and test the Aberdeen back line. I don't see Hibs doing that on many occasions, even although they've got plenty of the ball.
You want to get the ball wide. Johan, he's got the legs. Ask him to take his opponent on, get to the byline. They're just putting hopeful balls in the box, and Aberdeen are delighted with it.
Poor ball out in defence by McGrath. Straight back to Hibs with Fish. Now out to the right hand side, it comes to Johan from Levitt. Johan moves it in field, outside of the boot. It's straight to McGrath though, and he clears. Still Aberdeen leading the semi-final by 1-0. They're trying desperately to get themselves to full time. 4 of 7 has been played in the stoppage time. Long floaty ball to the edge of the box. Doidge wins the header, but there's a foul there by Joe Newell and Shinnie, the two captains. And Aberdeen have a free kick at the edge of their own box, and they will be in no hurry to take it.
No, just run the clock down, isn't it? That's what Aberdeen have to do, and I'm sure they'll milk this one. They got the free kick again. It's just that long loopy ball into the box, or just outside the box. You know, and the free kick, it's just a challenge. But you know, when Aberdeen are desperate just to, you know, get free kicks like that to allow the clock to run down, then Hibs are playing, you know, right into that trap.
2 trophies in 33 years for Aberdeen. Having had all the success in the decade before that. As Kellaroos takes the free kick eventually, but he's lumped it straight into touch for a Hibs throw-in. And the 10 men just trying to get through. This was boxing, the final round. Although they'd be having to go for the knockout if it was boxing, because they'd be losing this on points. It doesn't matter to them though. 1-0 up as Jensen heads clear up to halfway. Picked up here by Johan on the right. 2 minutes left, plus whatever was added on for the Miovski-Sockler sub. Will Fish has it, midway inside the Aberdeen half, steps away from Sockler, drifts the ball in, too close to Roos, who holds on. And the Aberdeen supporters celebrate up the other end as the big Dutch goalkeeper gets both gloves onto it. It's Hibs 0, 10-man Aberdeen 1. We played almost 6 minutes of stoppage time. 7 were added by John Beaton.
You've seen it so often. They're playing against 11 men, they're controlling the game, they're creating chances. They go down to 10 men, they can't create a chance.
Hibs are going to be filled with regret here, John.
Oh, you better believe it. They won't come to Hampden and play as well as they have and lose very often. It's unusual. You play so well, create chances, but it all comes down to you've got to take your chances, you've got to put it in the back of the net.
Kellaroos has a free kick at the edge of his own box here. Nick Montgomery watching on. The sands of time are slipping through the Hibs manager's fingers here. Long from Roos, out to the right hand side, one in the air by Polvara. Sockler gives chase, can't keep it in play. It was out for a Hibs throw-in over on the far side. About 30 seconds of the allotted time remain. Hibs have it, but they've got it at the wrong end of the pitch as far as they're concerned. Newell goes back to Marshall. Marshall launching it forward. Across the halfway line it goes. It drops down onto the head of Rubidzic, who beats Doidge. This header comes out to this near side, picked up by Eli Johan. Is this Hibs' last opportunity to attack the Aberdeen defence? Johan out wide right for Rory Whittaker, level with the 18, blocked by McGrath. Hibs throw in. I make that the 7 minutes have come and gone. Added time here. Hibs don't have much left to play with. A long throw coming up here. Joe Newell will take into the Aberdeen box. It comes towards Doidge. Rubidzic with a little header, knocked back there by Landers, and then Campbell's effort is sliced hopelessly wide from the edge of the box, and it stays Hibs 0, 10-man Aberdeen 1. Bojan Miovski on the Aberdeen bench. Down below us, 2 Dons players are on the deck inside their own penalty area. It's been a tough shift for them defensively. The Hibs have bossed the ball. Miovski getting ready to celebrate down below us. There can't be much time left. And Richard Jensen's taken a blow. He's had a few of them this season. And it's going to be an Aberdeen ball for Kellaroos to take. They're almost there. It's the most sensational of scorelines, this one. It really is. Don't say it lightly. I mean, Aberdeen getting out of jail with that Boyle offside goal, many other chances. Survived the Kellaroos potential penalty, and Venta as well. They score a goal of their own as Roos launches it forward. We played 8 minutes of stoppage time, 7 were added. John Beaton blows the whistle and Aberdeen are through to the final. An incredible night here in the National Stadium. Nick Montgomery shakes Barry Robson's hand, regret etched all over his face. They couldn't have played much better on the night, yet they lose. Bojan Miovski scores the winning goal in the first of the League Cup semis. He saw his goal here in last season's semi-final overturned in defeat by Rangers. And it came a couple of minutes after they were reduced to 10 men. Jack McKenzie sent off for a petulant push and kick out at Lewis Miller. That looked as though it was going to be the end for the Dons. Hibs had dominated, yet they couldn't fashion anywhere near the kind of chance they had when it was 11 against 11. And Martin Boyle's goal early in the second half looked to have opened the scoring. And after a VAR check of several minutes, it was eventually ruled out for offside. And Aberdeen took their chance when it came along. It was a dreadful performance by and large from the Dons, but it does not matter right now. It never matters when you win. And Bojan Miovski has sent Aberdeen through to the League Cup final. It will be their 16th League Cup final as they look to win it for a 7th time. Hibs are utterly crestfallen. The fans are dumbfounded, those who are still inside Hampden. And it's the 13,000 or so Dons fans who celebrate up the other end of the National Stadium. The performance doesn't matter when you win a National Cup semi-final, and that's exactly what Aberdeen have done. They will be back here on December the 17th when the 23-24 League Cup final will be contested by Aberdeen and Hearts or Rangers, who fight it out here tomorrow. It finished Hibernian 0, 10-man Aberdeen 1.